Hello, and welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I am your game master, Esper. This is another one of those second parters where we ended on a cliffhanger last time, and we're jumping in this session in the thick of battle and action. It's pretty intense. Pretty damn intense. I feel like this campaign has been this game of chess that has been like building up and everyone putting each other into check, and then finally last session was like that first piece like took down another piece and everything is about ready to go nuts.
Sending stone to Bale Vonder the equivalent of vibrating that's a reference to the chess scandal that happened recently with some cheating allegations. Anyway.
Oh, okay. No, actually, I am sadly oblivious to what that reference was. Who are your characters? And then we'll jump in.
Hello, everyone. I'm Warsor, and I play Walykos, the level 7 half-elf swarm ranger.
I play Vapor, the wild magic sorcerer.
I am Nick. I play Adriel Mantevel, the rogue.
I'm Adam, and I play Aygir. I don't play that much chess, but I play an Artificer who is level 7. He's a Hobgoblin. He's an armorer. That's what he does.
Most of us are underwater, not all of us. And there is quite a struggle going on. So let me paint the picture and just get everyone oriented to where everyone is, and you guys can let me know if I've gotten something wrong. So we have the coastal waters right there, just out east of the city of Barnacle, just beyond the sea cliffs. Under the water is this underwater vessel that has a name. Y'all don't know what the name of it is yet, though. We've been calling it something like a submarine or a submergible. It's damaged. The front viewing portal has been broken through from Vapor's magic and Walykos' magical staff. You've bashed it through. It is filled with water. Piloting the submergible vessel is the one that you know is nicknamed Jib. You know he's a half-dragon. He's the son of Zelex, the emerald dragon that you all slew. He wears a full-body armored suit, and he has gadgets and items of artifice. The vessel is moving at half speed, so that has taken it from like swiftly moving underwater to going like 30 feet in a movement. Like it's gone from a 60 feet speed to a 30-foot swim speed, essentially. He's piloting it. He is wounded. He's taken a couple pretty decent hits. He's not badly wounded, but he's definitely been knocked around some. Next to him, we have Adriel, who has finally pulled the trigger and is siding with the giants, with the enemy, with Belvonder's side. That's been building up for a while, and he's finally gone for it. So Adriel, you're inside of this flooded out, slow moving submergible. You are near the helm and the broken out window, and you've got a readied attack with your short sword. On the back of the submergible, grasped on, is Arachno, the jumping spider, who is a small-sized character who you've come to be allies with. He seems to have a hand crossbow that can, well, he does. He has a hand crossbow that can shoot bolts or can shoot out like a thin silken strand with a grappling hook on it, like a thin silk rope with a grappling hook. And he's got clearly some kind of nice light armor suit that he wears, and he climbs quite well. So he's grasped onto the back of this vessel. Walykos is down. You are 70 feet
70
away.
Feet seems a lot.
70 feet away total. It'd be like a diagonal, right? Because it's moved forward after you fell down, after you sunk down.
Okay. I hadn't realized they had cleared the rocks yet.
Yeah, it has. Its last round it did. So you're a total of 70 feet away from it. You are at half speed. You got gunked up by some alchemical bolt Jib shot you with. Some kind of sticky, sappy, tangling substance. You are wounded, and I think to some concerning degree. And you are starting to run a little low on breath. So you're not at the brink of dying or at the brink of drowning, but you probably are feeling concerned. Your survival instinct is probably starting to sound like some alarm bell. Vapor is sort of close. Vapor's kind of in between the vessel and Walykos, a little closer to Walykos. I have him marked as 20 feet away from Walykos and 70 feet away from the vessel. Aygir is riding atop a large-sized crystal quartz growth dragon with like this big spiky quartz nose prism. Korgane, this true form of Korgane Makel, who has just burst free of the storehouse. So this is like, so let's say we pan from the coastal waters, hit the sea cliffs, then we have like the city outer wall, then we have like a row of houses and buildings, and you're like flying over the tops of that. Like you're just starting to soar over the tops of that with like this busted out wooden shutter chunks raining down in the streets below. Have I forgotten anything or gotten anything wrong there?
You forgot the ghostly or the white shark in the water.
Yes. You have conjured.
If you recall, did a opportunity attack and actually bit the guy as he swam back into his sub, and then it was going to go after him.
Okay.
Into the cockpit of the sub.
That's right. Okay. So you had summoned this shark spirit, and it's, well, since the thing moved 30 feet, it's like 30 feet away from...
It's in the front of the... Yeah, it's going to get...
Probably a better way to think of it is it's actually swimming like along with the ship, because I assume that's what you've commanded it to do, like harry them.
It's supposed to attack the guy in the suit. That's what.
Yeah.
Doing.
So for narrative, theater of the mind purposes, we probably don't imagine like the ship moves and the shark doesn't move, and then the shark moves. They're just kind of both moving together, and the shark's like harrying them because the shark swims probably at 30 or 40 feet.
Well, he would have had to enter the sub and get it moving on his turn.
Yeah.
And then I haven't had a turn yet. I think I'm actually going to be first, or maybe, if I'm not misremembering.
It ended after Aygir, who I think was closest to the end last time.
The order that I have people in is Arachno, Walykos, Shark Spirit, Vapor, Jib in the ship, Adriel, Aygir, and Korgane.
That makes sense. I just hadn't realized that the ship had moved because he literally just swam back into the ship on his turn from being engaged with the shark. So.
Yeah, Jib's last turn was piloting. He didn't attack or anything.
Sure.
The swim speed of the shark is like 30 or 40? 30. Okay. So the shark's like keeping up at the same pace of the submergible.
No worries here.
All right, so I think we've pretty well got everything clear and oriented there. Let us return to the round-by-round combat actions. Arachno. Does he stay holding onto the back? Does he try to like pull himself along the vessel to get close to the front viewing port that's been broken through? I think he pulls himself along.
Just a movement there. Does he do anything with his standard?
I'm going to do an athletics check to see how quickly he can pull himself along.
Can he just retract the cable?
He already did that. He's now just clutched on with his hands.
Ah, understood.
Okay. He comes up with a 16 athletics. So I would say with a dash, he gets himself to pretty much wherever he wants. So he's probably going to position himself just above the broken out viewing port so the people inside can't actually see him. But on his next turn, he could just go forward a little tick and shoot in there or whatever he wanted to do. So let's say grasp onto front. Okay. Walykos, we turn to you now.
Walykos didn't realize how far the ship has moved, so I guess he's going to try and rip out of this gunk. What's the way to do that? I know it takes an action.
Mm-hmm. Yep, make a dexterity check.
Not strength?
Nope, dexterity to try to scrape the stuff off.
It's okay. Dexterity is even better. 17?
You get it off. Was not particularly complicated for you to do that.
All right. I rip out of it and I start swimming after the ship at 35 foot speed. I am going up towards the ship because remember I was knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
Is how he shot me down with his repelling bolt.
Walykos, you have freed yourself of the worst of the sticky strands, and you swim your 35 feet away from the vessel.
So, 35 feet away. But if you said I was 70 diagonal, 35 gets me to 35. So,
and you kind of come up through the water a ways.
The shark will just go around and make a dive run at the pilot in the cockpit.
Okay, cool. Before you do the bite on the shark, what is Walykos' constitution score?
14.
14? Okay, we'll say you have 2 rounds of breath.
How high is it to the surface from where I'm at? Just curious.
You could spend your speed and get to the surface. If
So
you
35
just like,
feet?
yeah, if you just like went straight up, you could go up and get your breath.
Next turn, I'll keep that in mind, or in the future turns, because you don't drown right away. We'll see.
Right.
Shark attack.
Okay.
Just
Go for
making
it.
sure, because Arachno is not there yet. Like Arachno is not within 5 feet of the enemy. He's not engaging the enemy. Because
Correct. He's on top, to where he could on his next turn move forward just a little bit, and maybe he'd like hang down and shoot in there.
Well, I have pack tactics on him. That's all why I was asking.
Ah, I see. Okay, no, it's not a pack tactic situation, alas. Also, Adriel, you're ready to attack. Can trigger.
It was an 18. Yeah, go ahead and do the ready to attack.
Quick question. Is the shark next to
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say the shark
Yeah.
is within
shark-
5 feet of you and Jib.
Suddenly,
if
the
I get
windshield
my-
is filled up with a shark. The shark just goes at Jib.
Yeah,
I
the
just wanted to check
the
if I
shark
get-
head just like busts in like
Yeah, I just wanted to check for
Killer-
sneak
killer
attack
shark style.
things.
Yeah,
Also,
Jib would
is
count as your ally.
do I happen to be flanking?
no.
No.
Okay,
You would have to be outside the ship for that.
just wanted to check all that stuff. I got almost a natural 20.
So you're
Well,
that
that'll
is
certainly hit.
like a 19. It's very high.
I need to know how much damage.
All right. So this is going to be one moment. Okay, so the first bit of damage is 11. I rolled very well on my first dice, and let me do
Okay.
sneak attack, which is going to be 15. So 26 damage altogether.
The shark is almost dead. It had 30 hit points.
You
Almost.
stab the shark, and it, probably does like a flailing. Clearly you wounded it pretty bad,
Yeah.
and then
I
it
rolled
attacks
very
with an
well.
18 bite against
Yes.
Jib. It like clamps on to Jib's armored hand, and he like that, and like bashes the shark off of himself.
Oh, 18 doesn't hit?
Didn't get through his armor, not quite.
Huh. All right. Well,
Vapor.
that's Shark.
Vapor, you are 50 feet away from the vessel. and then Walykos is swimming up, so you could meet with him. What do you want to do movement wise?
Okay. So once he sees Walykos is moving, he's going to swim back towards the sub, and we'll cast another Shatter at level 3. And he's specifically aiming for the propulsion system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not aiming for where the shark and the people are. You're aiming at the back.
Yeah, there's two. Well, he can't see them.
Right. Vapor and Walykos are essentially seeing the back of the vessel.
That's
the hind,
and
the
his
hind
main
part.
worry is this thing getting away from him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he
Is
wants
Vapor
to
wanting to
damage
stay, keep near Walykos? Because you could pretty much be right by him.
He's going to give a Walykos an a thumbs up, thumbs down symbol, see where he's at.
You don't have a swim speed either, Vapor. So
No, I know. That's the other reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he's giving a thumbs up, thumbs down to Walykos to see what he gets back. Getting the thumbs up, he's going to swim for the sub. Okay, let me double check Shatter.
Okay, so we'll just say that you are 35 feet away from the Aquabark as well, and you're near Walykos. And Shatter, and you are targeting the magical propulsion. Okay.
Yep.
So I think
roll up some damage, and I will roll up a Constitution saving throw.
with disadvantage, I believe, Esper.
Yes.
8, 16, 17.
Rolled the same on both the dice.
Oh, that's either good or
No Wild Magic Surge.
All right, 17 thunder damage.
Yes.
17. All right, you got it. 17. There is, if you can imagine, think of some kind of port or pod that's built on the external metallic structure, and there's like a sea blue colored sigil that crackles irritatedly as the blast of thunder racks it, and that did seem effective. The sense you get is you're attacking something that has a bunch of hit points, but as you get enough damage on it, it can start to slow down more and more. That one shatter there, it was not enough to slow it down yet, but accumulating more damage can get you to that point.
Well, unfortunately, I can't cast any more shatters. I was hoping that would have been enough.
You used a lot of spells, yeah.
You have used quite a lot. Well, we'll see what tricks you still have up your sleeve, you and your allies.
I still got a few more spells I can cast, at least level 1, and then my cantrips. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Moving to Jib now. One second. I just realized I did one of my notes backwards. Okay, got it. Okay. Jib grabs a spear, pulls it out, attacks the shark spirit. It thrusts
That
through the
means he's
water
not-
with a 15 to hit.
Okay. But this means he's not piloting this turn, right?
He'll have the speed, but not a dash.
Okay. Let's see. You said 15 to hit?
Hold on. Well, I might... Just give me 1 second. Let me...
Certainly.
Yeah, let me make sure I didn't just completely brain fart
15
there.
will hit. Just
Okay.
so you know.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just brain farted and was thinking creature stuff. This is vessel. This is vehicle stuff. So yes, his action is not to pilot it. His action was attack. Indeed. All right.
Okay.
15 hits.
Yep. Unless you roll 2 damage, you're probably...
It will certainly be more than 2 damage.
It's 4 damage is how much he has left.
All right. Jib skewers the shark and instead of it, sitting there bleeding or floating, it
Feathers. that
dissipates
evaporate.
into these feathery particles.
Yeah. Well, that was real annoying.
Jib looks, just like throws a glance at Adriel, and then just like is looking around, looking out to see what might be in front. The vessel has pretty well slowed down. It will still move half its speed. It just doesn't freeze. It has momentum, but it only gets 15 feet of forward
That's
motion.
okay. Slowing him down is important. So he's 50 feet away from me now.
Yes. All right.
Just go-
Adriel.
Let's
We'll go over to
see.
you.
So I almost
Adriel is
got-
holding his breath too as well now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yes, he is. Okay.
What's your comment?
So, you've still got a pretty good amount of breath, Adriel.
Yeah,
I
I was
think- I
going to
think-
say
I
he
think you're doing
probably
all
only
right.
started last turn.
Mhm.
Exactly. You've been holding your
Yeah.
breath for one round, so you're
What-
fine.
Mhm.
What's your constitution? Just curious.
16. So I have +3.
Yeah, you'll be good for quite a while.
I should be good for a while, yeah. So right now the only enemy is the shark, right?
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Oh man,
Jib
sorry. I
took
missed
it out
that.
with a
My
spear.
bad. All right. No other enemies near me, are there?
Ready another attack or dodge?
I could.
Perception check.
I can't see the grapple that's connected by arachnid.
You don't know anything about him, but you can make
Oh, I
a
don't know
perception
anything about
check and perhaps get a
Yeah,
because
yeah, we'll do-
imagine
we'll do
there's
a-
not just the front port. There are like side ports and
Yeah. Well,
There are some different-
Just to.
instruments that they're esoteric to you. You don't know exactly what they do, but
Mm-hmm.
clearly there are ways to be aware of what's around you. You're not just
Yeah,
blinded to all your sides except front.
I'll go for a perception check just to get a better idea of what's going on.
Cool. So, what you could do is you could roll your perception, and we can understand you're like kind of checking ports, and then you can end your turn kind of wherever you want. You could end back next to Jib. You could end with some cover behind the ladder.
I got an unnatural 20.
Okay. So, with all of that, you become aware of everything, including Arachno, who's like right kind of up on the top on the head of the vessel.
Yeah. Okay.
You see Walykos and Vapor, back a ways, and they are swimming in the direction of the vessel, at least for the moment. You would not yet be aware of the incoming dragon and Aygir. I don't think that's visible yet for you.
Okay. I will bonus action hide to the best of my ability then. To maybe get ready for the next round.
Okay. All right, you hide. Do you signal to Jib about Arachno up there? Do you let him know?
I do. Yeah. If he didn't know, sorry. I thought that he
Okay.
knew. But yeah, if
yes,
he doesn't know,
that's
yeah, I
that's
will
an
signal
important
to
part
him.
of what you just did there. So you inform him that
I
there
will.
is.
Well, he can't
I'll
speak.
co-
How do you signal him?
I'll kind of like just like point up and be like, hey, like be aware of that, like nod my head, like
That could be misinterpreted is my point. I mean, how do you get the meaning across? Is there a check or something, Esper?
I don't think. I think it's okay if Adriel just like emphatically is pointing towards up there, and Jib like
Okay.
throws a quick glance, and we'll keep it flowing along here. We're gonna go to Aygir and Corgain. You might prefer the order of Corgain going first.
Right.
Do you like that better?
Yeah, just for the sake of well,
Because we had that
yeah,
sort of
for the sake
fluid
of
all
movement,
along.
right?
Okay, so you are clutched on to whatever you can, probably like the shouldery area, and you've got some quartzy spike bits kind of jabbing into you, but you've got the armor, so that's that helps you not get too much discomfort, and you're just hanging on as best you can. A little different than riding a kite sail, and he flaps and soars and then flaps and glides again and careens over, clearing the high city wall. You now have a view of the sea cliffs and the ocean waves crashing beneath you. You see the dark shape of the underwater vessel, the submergible, beneath the waves. You have 60 feet of dark vision, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking Corgain glides down and is coming to sort of skim near the surface of the water, and that's when you make out this vague shape, and you see where it's at. It's down there. It'd be a decent dive down of a good few. That's what I was looking for. How much is a fathom? Oh well, it's about 50.
6.5 feet, if I remember correctly.
Okay, it's a good several fathoms down there.
Yeah.
It's about maybe 50 feet below the surface, somewhere around there. It seems to not be moving as quickly as you remember it moving previously.
Well, I think the plan is still probably to dive bomb. So basically, yeah, flying up about as close as possible to ideally where Aygir himself is within 60 feet of it. And if he can see the opening, he will cast a spell into it and then have Corgain use his breath weapon. This is all not really realizing where Adriel is, thinking that maybe he got off or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, the jig is up as well.
It's pretty dark. It's quite dark. Remember, it is night, and they're under the water about 50 feet. So I think you see just kind of a shadowy, looming shape. But you do see it, so you could still direct a spell towards it or a certain part of it.
All right.
I don't know that you make out many details, though. Not without a perception check, at least.
Sure.
Would you like to spend this turn making perception to try to get a good visual?
Because without that, he wouldn't see people inside, right? Well, actually, I mean, the spell is a point.
What spell are you thinking of?
The spell is a point I can see within range. The spell is
that you could do.
Emporium spell.
That you could
It's
do.
Grasp of Stone.
Okay, yeah, that you could do. Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
So then he will cast it on the just inside the submarine.
You target the point. Yeah, you target the point right there at the the face of the vessel.
Right.
And what's happening as you're casting the spell?
So everybody sees Aygir flying by on this dragon. Maybe they don't even see him; they just see the dragon. Although Aygir's pretty big, so this whole thing goes rattling by, and Aygir might even be muttering to himself, like, "Oh, I didn't think that would work." But
we're underwater. I doubt we see you.
Sure. And then he remembers a spell he recently learned, and figures if anything's going to stop people from being able to operate this thing, it's that. So he's going to take a hand off, risk falling, make a grasping gesture, and mutter a minor incantation, and cast a spell that'll partially petrify people within 10 feet of that point.
Okay. I did also neglect that there is light coming from inside the vessel. So those lights do help as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got a pretty good idea of the orientation of things. I'm going to make just a Constitution saving throw on behalf of Jib against your Grasp of Stone. He comes up with a 21.
Oh, okay. Well,
shakes that off. I'm rolling for Arachno as well.
He's still restrained. Oh, no, sorry, on a failed save. He's not restrained on failed save.
No restraint. Arachno as well.
Uh-oh.
Arachno has a mere 11.
Okay, well, Arachno is restrained.
Arachno is restrained from partial petrification.
That's gone poorly. But Aygir was not aware who all was there. This was a desperation move. So
now we need to determine if Adriel is in the radius. It's a 10-foot radius. Is he within 10 feet of that point?
He
Well,
was 5 feet away from Jim.
maybe,
so
maybe not. He was moving around and he was hiding.
he had
Adriel.
to go up to Jib to tap him and point.
That is
So that's
true.
my only-
That is true.
my only thing.
He might be and he might not. So here's what I'm going to say. Nick, give me even or odd. I'm going to roll this d20.
Odd.
Okay, if I roll an odd, you're just outside the radius. If I roll an even, you're just inside it.
I believe
14.
that's odd.
Adriel, make yourself... It is odd, isn't it? Make yourself a Constitution saving throw against Grasp of Stone.
Saving throw, you said?
Yep.
All right. Not very good. Only a 9. Oh, yep, only a 9.
Okay, some stoniness begins to texture itself along you. You are not wholly petrified, but enough to where it has restrained you.
All right. Well, that was part of a 1-2 punch because, Aygir is riding on Korgane. Korgane is a crystal dragon with a scintillating breath that I imagine they would have briefly discussed. It's just to be used against the submarine. We have to stop it. We have to stop it from getting away.
The real question is, does Korgane see the halfling or small person
Right.
with his dragon eyes?
Korgane dashed. He will be doing
Okay.
something next turn.
Sure.
Cool.
We're going to go to Arachno, who sadly is not in a great spot. He will...
Makes the save at the end of each of his turns.
Yeah. What should he do? I think he'll ready hand crossbow attack. Okay, and he'll make a con save at the end of his turn. Nat 4 is not going to do it for him. He remains partially petrified. Walykos, it is your turn. You are
Yep.
50
I've
feet
already-
away from the vessel. You have
Already got my
one
actions.
round of breath after this.
Yep. So Walykos uses his movement and his 35-foot swim speed to go straight to the surface, pops up, gasps, with lung full of air, and with a bonus action, I am casting last spell for the day, Zephyr Strike.
That one's
So-
been serving you quite well.
But it's a concentration, so I'll be able to hold that till the moment I need it. And then I will, with my regular action, dash 35 feet back underwater towards the ship, getting me within 15 feet of the ship.
Well played.
To you, Esper.
Well played. All right. You swim up, gasp your lung full, and imbue yourself with the Zephyr.
I
And
almost
swim.
imagine, because of my swim speed, it looks like I'm flying through the water almost. Like there's almost like a jet that's propelling me forward of feathers. So that's just
Through the
how
water
it's-
you glide, and you leave Vapor behind. Who does what?
Alright, I'm gonna have to be quick because I gotta take care of my dog real fast, then I can come back and play. But I think the only spell I can do while moving forward, because I don't think I'm within range yet,
Even a
is
cantrip.
Stormbolt.
Yeah. Who are you targeting with Stormbolt, or can you target the ship?
I'm targeting the engine system again.
Yeah. With advantage, I believe, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Esper, there's metal.
Very much so.
How's a 17?
17.
Can
You got it.
Stormbolt target objects? Can Stormbolt target objects, by the way?
I think it can, because
It's an
this
attack.
was a custom spell.
It's an attack roll. You like shoot out a bolt of lightning.
Well,
you
I
can
think
sh-
he
you can
designed
shoot
it
at
like
anything.
Firebolt, and Firebolt can specifically target objects to send them flying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And I believe it's 2d8 now.
But yes, Nick, I was also thinking the same thing.
9 damage.
You deal 9 damage, and that functions. just fine and well. The magical propulsion does not seem to have a damage threshold like some of the other parts of the vehicle does. You still haven't done enough damage to slow it down.
Okay.
But it did function what you just did.
Okay. And Vapor has 40 foot of movement, so at half, that's 20 feet of movement towards the sub.
So you're 30 feet away from the back of the sub now.
Yep.
Cool. Got that, Esper?
Yeah, that'd be my turn.
Just organizing my tabs here.
Oh, good.
35 feet. Got it.
30 feet. He was
30
50 feet away. He moved 20 feet.
Got it. Okay. Well done, Vapor. You have been one of the primary
Damage.
participants, actors in this encounter, and particularly the ones that have damaged the vehicle. And you seem to be making progress on the magical propulsion. But this is no mere goblin wagon you're attacking here. This is a wondrous craft of expert artifice.
For sure.
And speaking of experts and artificers, it is
Back
Jib
around.
now.
Oh, yes.
And remember, he does know about Arachnid now, or at least he knows someone is.
He knows.
Someone is
Yes.
But he also just shook off a stony spell, so he knows there's other enemies.
Yes. I'm like jumping from mind to mind of these NPCs. Like, what does he most want? Yeah. That's the ship getting flooded out. That really, I think that was the key kicker moment. No, sir. Here we go. He pilots. He moves it forward. 30 feet through the water.
15, so he's 45 feet away from me. The
Yeah.
ship now.
Yep. Adriel, you are partially petrified as restraining you. What do you have anything you'd want to do?
Can I use an action to try and become unpetrified, or is that just at the end of my turn?
End of your turn, you just get
the
to
end of
make
the
a
turn.
save.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just ready an action with my sword if someone gets close, and then end of my turn I'll do my Constitution save.
You're still technically hidden, too. You took your action
yeah.
to hide, and you never...
Would you prefer the sword or the short bow? Because someone would have to
I'm still
really come
underwater,
into
right?
the vessel.
You can't make attacks beyond your first range increment with the
You could
short
do
bow,
short
but
range, and it's at disadvantage. But you could attack something that's at the viewing port, the front port, portal.
There's nothing there right now, right?
There isn't,
There's
no.
nothing
But you're not within melee range of it, and you're petrified. So
I'll just
it'd have to be
I'll
something
just
that
ready my
came
sword.
inside the.
Yep, I'll just ready my short sword in case something comes inside.
Okay, and then make a Constitution saving throw at the end of your turn.
That's much better. 15.
Aygir, how does a 15 do
DC?
for your spell DC?
Sorry, in a tab of notes. 15 is not enough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I mean,
All
at this
right.
level, 16 is kind of the threshold.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Makes sense.
Especially if it's enhanced by an infusion.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Corgain continues to fly, and he flies quite swiftly, and he takes you out further through, over the water, Aygir,
There's
so that
not
you
much
two
in-
are maintaining above the vessel down under the waves.
All right.
He skims fairly close to the surface of the water. Quartz, pale creamy colored wings outstretched and giving small flaps to keep from actually splashing into the water. He looks down, chants a spell, and a multicolored, kaleidoscopic array of patterns appear. I need Adriel to make a wisdom saving throw.
Not very good at those.
Is it strength or something?
Nope. I got a 4.
Adriel, you have been hypnotized.
Ooh.
Jib makes his save next. He has been hypnotized.
Oh, wow.
It's a powerful spell.
It really is.
He's just a young crystal dragon.
And Arachno as well. He's getting caught in the...
Rakdos
Friendly
just
fire.
petrified, and he's just
He's,
like...
he's getting friendly fired left and right here. And Arachno is hypnotized too.
Wait, does he like fall off if he's hypnotized since he was grappling?
He's kind of also petrified, so he's holding on.
Oh, I would say he
might
can remain clutched on, since he was gripped on pretty well already.
So
He's not to the point of paralysis.
So what does the hypnosis thing do?
Okay,
What do we
so
want?
the pattern completes and it leaves the 3 of you hypnotized.
So you're charmed for the duration, and while charmed in this way, you're incapacitated, which means you can take no actions or reactions, and you have a speed of 0.
Oh wow.
You're in a stupor. You're just in a hypnotized
Yep.
stupor.
You
With
take any
you know when you
damage.
see like a really bright light in the darkness and it like leaves that burn image in your mind. That's what you see. You just see like this kaleidoscopic thing burn. You're not blinded, but you know it's
How do
there.
I,
It's like
how do I
enchanting
get
your
out?
mind.
Wait 1 minute, or someone has to use an action to shake you out of it, or you have to take damage.
Yeah, or
Oh,
wow,
or Corgain stops concentrating. But
Oh,
there's
wow,
not a
so I
repeated
don't
save
even
at the end of
business.
turn.
Oh wow.
It's
It's
an
an amazing
FU
spell. It's an amazing. I love this spell.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of
Typically use
people-
it when I'm playing a character, a spellcasting character.
Oh yeah.
Now it's been used
Against you.
against you and against the enemies. So
I think that settles things. Like if the guy can't pilot his ship, it's going to move at 15 feet forward, and we can easily catch it. I mean, I'm willing to play things out because friendly fire. Who knows what's going to happen?
let's play this out for at least for a bit here.
Yes.
Aygir, you are, say 10, 12 feet above the surface of the waves. And Corgain, speaks to you telepathically. I'm maintaining a hypnosis effect upon them. If you strike
Okay.
them, it may knock them out of it. It will knock them out of it.
Well, then I go for whatever's steering that thing. And is there an obvious rudder,
It's magic propulsion.
or like, can he see the engine or the whatever makes it go forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the back of the vessel, there's.
Okay. Then,
I'm thinking there's like these 2 pods that are like part of the exterior on the back, and they each have this, sort of elemental sigil on them.
Sure.
One of them is damaged a bit from vapor.
Okay. Well, that one's already damaged. Then that might be the exact target upon which he will cast Shatter.
Oh my. Shatters abound.
Well, you roll with disadvantage, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing has a good con, but disadvantage sort of. Ooh. It rolled quite good. 22. That'll be half
Well,
damage.
okay.
It's still
Well, a good thing to attack the already damaged one then.
Yeah.
Half. I also rolled pretty well. Okay, so that's half of 20, so 10.
10? Okay. If only you had... If only it had
Done
failed
one
to
more.
save. You continue to assail the magical propulsion. Still have not noticeably slowed the thing down.
A lot of hit points.
Yeah, vessels usually have a lot of hit points, which is what you want. I mean, who
You
wants
don't
to be
just
in a
want-
ship that
right.
just takes one hit and starts sinking? So
I just fireballed your ship and it's done.
right. Very well. Arachno is hypnotized and petrified. Well, he still does make the con save against petrified because
That's
the
true.
bodily functions still happen. I mean that in a positive way.
Useful. Especially if someone shakes him out of it.
He comes up with a 14 is not enough.
Not
So he
quite.
continues to be
16,
partially
I think,
petrified.
is the number we're looking for.
Walykos, it is your turn. You're 45 feet away.
All right,
in the
I see
water.
these spells like flashing. Can I? How do you identify what a spell is? Arcana or something?
Yeah, any knowledge check, it's your action, and you use a skill. So it'd be like an
Okay.
arcana
But
check.
there's no reactive way to do it because I saw it happen last turn.
There's not a reactive way. The hypnosis, you're aware of what that is. Corgain already described it to you. He
Fantastic.
informed you guys about that. So you know
Right,
you
and
know
the
about
ship
that.
and the ship is slowing down. It seems after that happened, or it hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't
this
happened
turn.
yet.
Cool. I'm. Let's see. I was 15 plus.
Yeah, from your
30.
perspective, you don't. There's nothing obvious that's happened. You saw the swirling patterns, like, oh, he used the hypnosis effect. I hope it worked. And it's like
Then-
immediately your
Then
action.
Here's what I do. I dash. I move 60 feet. Or, I'm sorry, 70 feet. I'm getting right to where Arachno is, above the windshield, but not in view of the
Yep.
line of fire.
Okay.
Now, I will cling on. Basically, I could swim right beside him, but I'm kind of holding on, swimming. Beside him. That's,
Got it.
That's what I do.
Okay, you get up right next to Arachno. He is not really paying much attention to anything. He just is in this stupor, and he's got like this
Stone.
moderate stoniness, not turning him into a full statue, but it's enough to hold him in place.
I get you.
Were he a lower level character, things could be much worse, as the Grasp of Stone spell and its
See.
ilk, they actually have a more powerful effect against low level things, low CR things.
CR 1 or lower, he would have.
Yeah, below
Yeah, they
the
actually
level
can
of the spell.
petrify.
Yeah, if the target is below, if the target's level or CR is below the level of the spell, they can get petrified.
half the level. Of
So
the
it's a second level spell. So it had to have been,
CR1 or
first
level 1
character.
or lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my turn. Keep it moving. Is it Vapor?
It is. Vapor, you're 60 feet away from the vessel. You're underwater. Walykos has swam much farther ahead of you.
I'm
The
attached
sub's
to the front.
moving about 30 feet.
That's what
The
we've
last
observed.
turn it did.
Yeah.
Okay, he's seen the spells go off. He doesn't know if anyone's been affected by them. How damaged does that proportion, what he's been wailing on, look?
Done maybe like 30 damage to it, approximately. I'm not giving you the exact number.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Because
damaged.
I'm debating if he's going to try to, because if he's seen it's moving at 30 feet, he can sprint in 2 turns to get to the sub,
Mm,
and then I can cast Thunder. I have a couple thirst.
well,
first
you're
level
60
spells I
feet
can
away
use.
right now. So even if you move 40 feet, it'll move 30 feet, presumably. We know it's not going to, but you think it will.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to just.
You will
dash this
overtake
turn.
it'll take you many
Yeah.
turns. It'll take like six turns.
Yeah. So as far as he can tell, his little thunderbolts aren't working on it.
Okay.
He needs to use some.
They
stronger
do
magic
seem to be
systems.
working. It's just a strong target.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
lots
wants to
of hit
try to
points.
use something else. On it.
You feel pretty confident that you're about ready to cause some noticeable damage to this thing.
Well, if it's in that, then he would swim the 20 feet and cast another Storm Bolt. If he's pretty sure it's going to go with this.
I mean, not
You think
with
you have
one
you think you have a
storm
pretty good chance.
bolt. Yeah,
Okay.
but
If either this one or the next one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss with a 14.
Alas, it does not strike well enough to
did you
apply
roll
the
with
effect.
advantage?
I did. They both
Okay.
were 3s.
That's fair. Damn.
Okay. Yeah, and he's going to swim the 20 feet that he's able to because of half movement speed. And that'll be it.
Okay.
No. Not
It
falling
is
too
Jib's
far.
turn, and I need to just
He's
double check
incapacitated.
everything here to make sure I'm not missing any way that he has. Huh.
Sure.
No. That's not gonna do it. No. Well, damn. At the end of his turn, he makes a Constitution saving throw. And
Most half dragons have like some sort of advantage, like that he didn't get for some reason.
he has a 17 on a con save, so he overcomes the grasp of stone.
Yeah, this is also it's a large sized dragon that makes it a young dragon in theory, right?
Oh wait,
Yes.
he did not get petrified. Whoops.
No, he did not get much.
So I just rolled that for nothing. Okay.
All good.
What were you saying, Adam?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, well, I mean, he doesn't have like legendary actions or resistances or anything
No.
fancy like that. So, yeah.
No. This is
Alas, no. He, does the only thing he can do, which is nothing. And
So the ship moves 15 feet.
the
correct?
ship moves 15 feet,
How far is that put Vapor from it? I guess
55 feet away.
Yeah, because he moved 20 and it moved 15. So you're
The
gaining on
momentum
it.
of the vessel carries it forward a bit, and then it's really starting to slow down. Just
Yep.
as you can tell, Jib has been hypnotized. He's not piloting it.
That's good.
Adriel, make a Constitution saving throw.
Actually, that's an idea. I don't know if it'll work though. I actually have the Misty Step spell.
You can't,
Um,
you can't,
you
take
can't
any
use it?
actions.
You can't take actions when
Oh,
you're
I can't even take
when you're
action.
incapacitated.
Oh, wow.
Incapacitated. Yeah.
I thought I was restrained, not incapacitated.
You are
Both.
restrained and incapacitated.
You got grasp of stone and
Oh,
hypnotic
yeah,
pattern.
I'm incapacitated. You
Yeah.
can't take actions while incapacitated. Yeah, no, you're
You're-
right.
yeah.
My bad.
You're locked
Okay,
down.
I'll just do my I'll do my con check.
Yep.
Which will at least get you unrestrained, so in case the concentration gets disrupted or
That
1 minute
is-
passes.
I got a 15 again. Same
So
roll.
close, yet
Close.
so far away.
Alright.
Corgain says to Aygir telepathically, "Take a big breath. Brace up." You
Aygir
suck in air and
Huh?
grasp on really tight into the water. Corgain dives and takes you with a dash, essentially right up by the vessel.
The music was perfect there. It paused.
Yeah.
Dramatic. As you dived.
So we'll say at the vessel. Aygir, what are you gonna do with that?
Okay, so diving straight at the vessel, still seeing it's not destroyed. I'm out of second level spells. No more shatter for me. No more mirror. No more grasp of stone. My mirror image has faded by now.
You still have grasp
don't
of
look like-
stone upon.
Or sorry, I can't cast it again. I mean,
Oh, okay.
um,
Okay, gotcha.
he's just gonna fire a storm bolt into the glowing rune that was already damaged.
The propulsion.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can move. You can let go of Corgain and like swim to the water and do that. Is that what you want to do?
Not
He
really.
got you
wanna-
close to the front of the ship.
And it's pretty much fully submerged in there now, right?
It is.
It is 100%.
Yeah. You know what? All right. Adriel is partially petrified. He's restrained. Doesn't mean he can't be moved.
I am technically hidden. I don't know if you know where I'm at.
He did hide.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, unless you want to do like a
true,
perception check against
Well, no,
stealth.
I think still the plan though is Aygir is actually going to jump off.
Yeah. Why don't
and
Adriel, go ahead and make a perception, stealth check representing
sure.
the hide that you took a couple rounds back.
So it'll just be a normal roll then.
If it's less than
this
his passive
is-
perception.
Yeah.
Wait, did I? Okay, yeah, this is very good. This is a. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not as good as it was. Oh man, I thought it was an 18 on my 3D dice, but no, it was a 4. I got a 15 still though.
You have
Okay.
15.
What's your passive?
That beats my passive perception. So I don't see you at first, but the plan is
Corgain does.
to
He speaks
really?
to you telepathically. Jib is hypnotized. There farther back, in the shadows beyond the ladder, Adriel hides. He looks to be in the grasp of your stone and the hypnosis.
All right. Well,
If I'd gotten
yeah.
the 18, it would have been a 29.
I don't know how many turns it'll take, but the plan is he's going to jump off, swim over there. He's going to grab Adriel and pull him out and swim to
You
the
do
surface.
see also me and Arachno like right there.
You
All
do. Arachno
This
is
is
also
true.
grasped of
this is
stoned and hypnotized.
Is
You
this
could
true?
just
Okay.
let go of your concentration. Just saying, it's not.
But it also would let go of
well,
the...
wait, what is the?
it
what
would
is the
stop
apparent
the petrification
status-
on
incapacitated
Adriel.
anyways.
What is the
Yeah.
apparent status of Walykos right now? Is he still hurting?
I mean, he's bleeding. You know, like he's got wounds on him.
Yeah, he's
Is it
you know like
Probably
mildly
like a big
wounded.
crossbow bolt.
I'd say
Is it
go with what you first picked. Like that.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like that's
Anyway,
what Aygir would have done.
Well, information. I was
Telepathically, Aygir communicates to Corgain, pick up Walykos. He doesn't look good. And then is going to swim over. And yes,
Well, fuck
Arachno's
you.
down here too. He would want to save Arachno. He will want to save Arachno. But Adriel is a target who needs to be gotten out of here for figuring out whatever's going on with him. So
Aygir,
he's
with
gonna go after
your
him.
with your speed, you swim through the broken viewing port, right past Jib, and up to Adriel. You have your action.
Cool. Grabs him.
All right, you
so
grab.
grapple, I guess.
Yep, you grab Adriel. Make a. You'll have advantage on a
Athletics.
strength athletics,
Yep.
and Adriel, you will have disadvantage on an acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, wait. Okay, I can maybe actually get through this
With
acrobatics. you said?
acrobatics, yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
did I? Okay, so wait. So it's not a dex saving throw; it's just acrobatics.
Mhm.
And it's disadvantage. Okay.
Well, that
Let's see.
advantage was good for me because I got an 18 as a result of that.
I would have had a higher roll, but the disadvantage gave me a 7. I rolled a 2 and an 11.
That's how it goes.
Aygir, you have taken hold of Adriel, and Arachno makes a Constitution saving throw. He remains partially petrified. Walykos, what about you?
I shake Arachno out of it with my action. I knock him out of the
Okay.
die pattern, so he's now back in it, at least as far as he can be while still grabbing. So I see that his eyes clear as I shake him, and then I'm going to use my move action to go inside the vessel as well, to see, because I don't know what Aygir is doing, and I don't want him to.
You see Aygir seize hold of Adriel, who is in the stupor and the grips of the stone spell.
I swim over to him with my perfect swim speed, and I just like grab onto Aygir and I try and like get him off of Adriel.
Ooh, okay.
I can't do that. With
yeah,
my
so-
action.
well, yeah,
This
we'll-
is just
Right,
this
we'll
is
get back
cinematically
to
what
that.
I'm doing.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
back to that. That'll be interesting. Vapor, you really are the only one who's now removed from everyone else. You're back a ways.
You're not that far though, because the ship's
No,
slowing to a
I'm
halt.
not super far. But I think he's gonna
55
dash
feet.
this- but he is going to dash this round.
Okay.
So that'll get you within 15.
Yeah.
All right. You swim towards the vessel, and you're now much closer. Jib is hypnotized.
Adriel's hypnotized.
Yeah, let me actually track the duration on the hypnosis. That might
That
matter.
does matter. It does.
Just a bit.
Okay. Adriel, it's your turn. I don't know of anything that you could really do other than make your con save at the end of your turn.
Can I speak?
Nope. No actions.
Oh, I'm underwater.
But
I'm
you're
also
also
underwater. Yeah.
So,
I'll make a con save.
yeah,
Just make a con save.
I don't
That's all.
imagine. Even if you weren't underwater, I don't imagine your speaking capacities would be very
Yeah.
functional. You might just like
This-
have a few sputtery, slurry things, but you couldn't really form complete sentences or thoughts.
This whole scene reminds me of another scene where I was not able to do anything for a while.
I'm trying to remember which scene that was.
It was the last scene with my necromancer.
Oh.
17 on my con check.
What do you got?
17, I think that passes.
You have overcome the stoniness, but you have not
Yes.
overcome the stupefying hypnosis, and it might still be a little bit before you do.
I would like to strengthen my mind and overcome the hypnotic pattern. I got this.
Core gain. Core gain. He's right there by Jib.
We'll just take Jib in a grapple so long as he doesn't shake him out of it. Yeah. Good.
Oh, question actually was me being moved by Aygir, did that shake me out of hypnotic
No.
pattern?
No.
Okay.
It has to be
Okay.
an action used to shake the creature out of stupor.
Gotcha.
intentionally.
Or take
Or
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
So grapple does not do damage. Just yeah.
Oh, could I intentionally drown myself?
No, you can't take an action to intentionally drown yourself.
Are you
And
being
drowning
serious?
doesn't do damage.
I mean, it was a serious question because like you don't immediately die, but I assume you take a little bit of damage.
You don't
which
take
could put-
damage.
You don't
just
take
go-
damage from
You
that?
go straight to 0, then to -1.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
How
never mind. That's-
serious are you with that thought, Adriel?
I mean, if it immediately puts me to 0, I didn't know the mechanics of it, so I assumed that it was like a little bit of damage.
Don't worry about
every
mechanics.
round,
Adriel, would he really
Okay.
do that? Get into Adriel's mind.
but- Oh, that's interesting.
That's a pretty hardcore thing to intentionally drown yourself.
I think right now probably not. Yeah, maybe like later on, but right now no.
All right. Yeah, the mind state that someone would require for that is an extreme amount of
yeah.
conviction.
Yeah, I think right now no. Potentially
From
later, but right now.
from my perspective, I don't see Adriel having that level of conviction. And so what I
Yeah.
would probably do is require you to make a wisdom check. And
No,
if you
yeah, I think that's fair.
succeeded, you could muster that amount of determination. Otherwise,
not-
just your survival instinct just keeps your mind from going to that place.
No, I think that's perfectly fair. Yeah, I think right now anyway, he's probably not even thinking of that anyway. Like,
Okay.
he's like, yeah, he's like,
I had to- I had to ask.
He's like, yeah. Sorry.
So I
kinda
don't
brought it
see
up
that
as just
so much as a
thought, but
matter
yeah,
of
that-
mechanics
Who's-
because it's
who's
not
after-
like it takes an action to breathe. All right, so
Is
we're,
it?
it's Jib's turn at the moment, and he is in not Jib.
thought it
It's
was
it's
Corgain.
Corgain's turn, who's grabbing Jib,
Did we
attempting
skip
to.
Arachno? Arachno was shaking awake.
It's Corgain's turn, who's attempting to grab Jib. He has a mere 8. Oh my, that is not a lot. Jib
It
will
does have
make
disadvantage, so.
Jib will make his athletics. He comes over 13, so almost in a zombified sort of way, he keeps the dragon's claws from fully clutching him.
Okay. That was with disadvantage.
Aygir. You have Adriel in your grasp. Your stone spell has worn. You might as well just stop concentrating on it at this point.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, because he's restrained by being grappled, so he will stop concentrating to free Arachno, and he's going to swim for the surface. The question is just, does he want to actually, get back onto Porgain for help with that or not? But you said it's how far down? It's not 50 feet. It's a little less than that.
Underwater, you're about 50 feet down.
Okay, so while maintaining the grapple, then he's still able to dash, right?
You're pulling Adriel? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Give me a strength athletics check.
Sure.
This is not an easy task.
Right, and he's not great at this, so it could go either way. However, it's a 17 on the die,
Okay.
which means it's a 17.
So you get Adriel that, weighs through the interior of the vessel and out the broken open portal.
Right.
That's probably, I'd say that's probably
Sure.
your turn there, is that.
Sure.
There was a lot of maneuvering and positioning and struggling you had to do to accomplish all that.
Oh, of course.
It was not an easy task, but you got him out.
Right.
Now wait a second, though. I was trying to stop him.
Walykos was there, yeah.
If you're gonna, that would provoke from me. If you're trying to move away.
You're trying to stop who?
I already. So I came in last turn, and I was trying to push you off, and I was giving you let go of him signs.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
I didn't actually take any actions to
Sure.
do anything.
In character, I
Well,
don't
you
understand.
Well, why don't we just
but,
immediately do what Walykos would
yeah.
be doing, right? So Walykos, you want to make like an athletics to
just grab
pull
him.
Adriel back the other way?
No, not touching Adriel. I'm touching Adam's character.
Sure.
So-
Yeah, we'll just say.
Okay,
it's
so
miscommunication. That
all right.
makes
So
sense.
before you roll, Walykos, Aygir,
Is a grapple.
Aygir, you see, it's obvious to you Walykos is wanting to get you off of Adriel.
Right.
What is your point of view
Okay.
about that?
His first thought is, no, we need to get him out of here. His second thought, a moment later, will be, well, I guess it's some Walykos Adriel business. That's their thing. But no, I think he'll try and pull him past, just for right
Okay.
now.
Then
Okay, so Aygir is actively resisting what you're doing, Walykos. So the two of
That's
you do strength athletics.
I make an attack of opportunity, which is a grapple attempt. So
Attack of
opposed.
opportunity. I think
the
it's
attack
you.
of opportunity. No,
I think
the
it's
attack of
your turn.
No, attacks of opportunity.
They're
Oh, wait.
reactions, but also their attacks.
There, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a
attack.
basic melee weapon
Hang
attack.
on, stop. Aygir said he was taking Adriel, correct? When he moves past me, I get the attack when he leaves my threatened
Right.
area.
Sure.
And an attack can be replaced with a grapple attempt. That's what I'm
The
doing.
attack action. You're not taking attack action. You're taking opportunity attack, which is a reaction, and you just make a basic melee weapon attack.
I thought you could replace any basic attack with a grapple.
That's
I know
really
you
the
can with a
attack.
shove.
That's really the attack action because there's more involved in grappling, I think, than
Hang on, I'm
a
looking
quick
this up
jab with a
because
weapon.
I
I
know for
think
a fact
Esper's
that you can
right.
replace-
I did look at it. It says making a grapple requires you to take the attack action.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will just shove him and try to knock.
But since it's your turn anyways, we're still kind of in the same flow of that moment, so it ultimately turns out to
Okay.
be the same thing, where you're
Well,
still trying to get Aygir off of Adriel with your
Well, the big
athletics
thing
check.
is whether or not he's got Aygir, or whether he's got Adriel outside the ship yet. Has he got him outside the ship yet?
Yes, that was his turn.
Then I
but
will take my attack.
I'm trying to keep this a little more narrative and fluid, and we could certainly play it that you're trying to prevent.
No, let's just let him take it out because I couldn't have made the attack of opportunity to grab him. So
Okay.
I will just act on my turn then.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
He'll probably let go once he realizes you're trying to do something, but
Aygir, you don't have a swim speed underwater, right?
no.
What is your speed?
It's 35, so He's
halved, and then
yeah.
dragging him, you move at half speed again.
Yeah, so he's not moving very fast.
So you're moving at like 7.5 feet.
Something like that.
All right. I move over to you, and I will attempt to push you off him. We'll just do an athletics first, whatever your choice.
All right. Yeah, I guess it's not my turn, so I don't know if I can necessarily see this happening and let go. But
you probably could. I mean,
yeah,
You can let go whenever you want, if you wish.
He'll voluntarily let go. He realizes that Walykos is doing something, and figures that it's something his personal business.
I'll grab Adriel then with my action if that doesn't need to be contested.
Shouldn't. He lets go. Lets go.
Okay, so Aygir is let go. Walykos is wanting to take hold of Adriel.
Mm-hmm.
Adriel, what is your point of view on this?
If I was awake, I'd be. I wish I was
awake.
awake because dude. No, I mean, I wish I
awake.
was able to. I wish I could like do something because I was thinking in my mind like Walykos like pushes Aygir off and then like I stab Aygir, but
In your
But no,
mind, that's what happens.
yeah, that's
But-
what happens in my mind.
Are you just passive? Are you trying to resist even slightly?
That's
Yeah.
such a good question because like I would be resisting Aygir, but like now Walykos is in the
Mhm.
picture. I don't.
Go with
I
your
don't think I would resist right now because like from Adriel's perspective, it's safer with Walykos probably than to just be in the water where another like enemy who probably doesn't
Well-
like Adriel as much would grab him,
Okay.
like
Well,
Aygir or Vapor, you know. So
As soon as Walykos has you, then assuming Esper, you don't
Yep.
require a check.
You've got him.
All right, I am going to use my full swim speed to get out and move away from the sub with Adriel being held by me. So, half speed of that's 15 feet. So I get 15 feet out of the sub. And I'll leave.
Okay.
I'll leave.
Are you
Chip
heading
to
up towards the
others.
surface?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say Walykos is pulling Adriel
Yep.
towards surface. Okay, got it. Vapor, you are closing in on the vessel. You see Walykos pulling Adriel upwards.
Okay, so this is where it's going to get interesting. Can he see Aygir?
No, Aygir's still in. Or no, Aygir is outside the boat.
Yeah, you probably have some blockage, but you can make out where Aygir's at, just outside the front of the vessel.
Okay, so he doesn't have good line of sight. Okay, so that
You can dash to get to the front of the vessel this turn, I think, because you have 40 feet of dashing speed, and that would get you in position to do anything you want next turn.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need
If
to
you
dash.
don't-
I don't think you'd need to dash.
He was 15 feet away last turn,
Oh,
and
true.
then the ship moved again.
That's
So
true,
he
that's
would,
true.
He would
Yep,
need to
okay.
dash to get in front of it.
That's it.
Yeah, so he'll dash again.
But now
in
you're
front
in
of it.
position to do anything that you want to anyone.
Yeah.
You're right next to Arachno, basically, holding on.
And how's Arachno looking? Has he still got that stone on him?
Nope, but he is hypnotized.
No, I shook him out of hypnosis.
Oh, you sure
he
did.
has the stone.
Oh my gosh.
So he has stone on
Whoa, he had his turn.
him. Did.
Yeah. So what would he have done? I don't
Well,
even.
he's restrained still.
No.
no.
he,
Aygir stopped.
Aygir stopped concentrating.
Oh, well then, please take his turn.
Yeah, he is now free. Everybody.
He readies a shot with his hand crossbow.
Fair enough.
He doesn't know what's going to happen here, and so
There's
he's
a
trying to
lot
be
going
prepared.
on. Yeah.
So then, Vapor seeing Aygir and Arachno is going to do the same thing he did with Walykos. Thumbs up, thumbs down, see where they're at on situation-wise.
What does Arachno give?
Yeah, so what does Arachno and Aygir give back?
Arachno, I think he's just too focused on any number of variables that could go awry at any second now. So he's like focused on with the hand crossbow.
Okay, seeing that, he's just going to assume all's good with him, and then he's waiting for
He's probably closely like laser focused on the front where Jib is still at the helm even though he's hypnotized.
And then Aygir.
So he's in the water now, having just let go of Adriel next to Walykos.
No, Walykos is
Walykos went up.
15.
Walykos is like
Or-
taking Adriel
right,
up
he's
towards the
got
surface.
the special. He's got the special. Okay, all right. Well, so he's doing what Aygir is going to do anyway. Aygir then is swimming up parallel to them, but
Well,
much
no.
slower.
What is Vapor sent him a thumbs up, thumbs down, trying to see where he's at situational wise.
Oh, he gives a thumbs up as he's swimming upward.
Okay.
He hasn't taken any damage.
Okay. No, that's what he's trying to see. He's just trying to see where everybody's at.
Interesting.
Vapor, you have reached the front of the vessel, so everyone is all fairly close to one another. Walykos pulling Adriel up are really the ones that are a little bit removed. Jib is hypnotized. He can't do anything. Adriel as well, hypnotized, being pulled up by Walykos. Corgain is going to attempt to once again seize hold of Jib. Comes up with a 12.
Jeez.
Okay. I'm not rolling very good.
Jib could roll worse.
He sure did. Okay.
Yeah. So he grabs him.
Corgain
and pulls him
seizes
out.
hold of Jib. Okay. Grappling. Jib. Okay.
End of the round.
It's going to be
Because,
Aygir.
yeah,
How many
Aygir,
more rounds for the hypnotic spectrum concentration?
7 or 6 at this point. It's only been like 3 rounds of hypnosis.
That's 18 seconds, right? Okay. Yeah.
Esper.
3 rounds have passed. Aygir, you were just outside the vessel there at the front. Corgain
Right.
has taken hold of Jib. Walykos is bringing Adriel up towards the surface. Vapor's there nearby with you.
Okay, telepathic. So Corgain is. How is he holding on to Jib?
Seizes hold of him with his dragon claws.
Okay. Telepathically, Aygir says to Corgain, "Does putting your tail hurt?" Okay, cool. Aygir grabs onto his tail and says, "To the surface." Telepathically, of course. Because he's so slow down here. This is the best way to do it.
Okay. Well, Corgain's actually not.
I've already
much-
spent like
He's really
5
not much
rounds of
faster than
fight.
you underwater, man.
Well, okay.
He's got a walking speed of 40, so that halves to 20 swimming.
You need to
That's-
make
that's
like
better
a.
than me.
You need to make like an art
He is
piece
big,
of this
though.
of like a
So, I mean,
hobgoblin
there's that.
artificer like grabbing on a dragon's tail, swimming up.
Well, this is a multi-panel comic because we already have the bursting through
Yeah.
the shutters of the wooden
That's true, that's true.
warehouse. Now we've got the grabbing onto the
I
tail.
believe this brings us back around to Arachno. Then if
It
you're
does.
grabbing
Who is
on.
free?
Arachno continues to ready his shot. Walykos?
I mean, yeah. Walykos reaches the surface with his speed easily, even at half speed, dragging Adriel. And how far are we from the cliff? We moved maybe like 30, 15,
Only 100
30.
feet away from the
Yeah,
cliff or
like 100
something.
feet sounds about right. I'm going to start swimming while dragging Adriel back towards the cliff of the shore. So another 15 feet in that direction, we'll say I'm 85, or wait. Yeah, 85 feet away.
You bring up to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You break the surface. It's night. The water's cold. The waves are slapping you. It's got saltiness all like in your eyes and your mouth. And you get
I'm holding
Adriel's
Adriel.
mouth. Yeah, you get
yeah,
Adriel's
out of the
mouth
water.
above the water. So you both are
I
breathing
imagine
air
one
now.
arm is wrapped around Adriel's waist, and I'm swimming with my other and kicking and moving at my 15 and a half,
Mhm.
speed or so.
Sure. And you make your way toward the sea cliffs.
Yep. Hypnotic pattern's still burning, but
Here's what I think.
back.
Here is what I think the inevitable outcome of this is.
Yes.
Corgain, the dragon,
Gets up.
flies the hypnotized people up onto the city street,
Yep.
and there's maybe there's 2 rounds left of the hypnosis
Does
when everyone gets up there.
I'm fine.
does
with
this
it.
involve some kind of a check to maintain holding onto his tail?
Just simplify it. Don't make checks every single round.
Just curious though, for this situation, would Walykos have gotten to the shore before Corgain was able
I
to
can
get everyone
move
else up?
35 feet around, moving double speed with you being held.
Yeah, I'm just curious, just in case Walykos had something he was planning that would happen
He's the
before
fastest of
everyone
them.
else, got.
So here's the thing. I'm 85 feet, 30, 70, and then even climbing, it's like 100 feet up the cliff. No, there's no way that I could have made it there before he did. I could get really close dashing and holding you.
Well, I was also thinking, I assume that there's a spot, a piece of land below the cliff that you would
There's not.
Oh,
It's
there's
just
not. Okay, it's just water. Okay, I see.
I mean,
Never
there might
mind.
be some rocks that jut out, but it's a sea cliff.
Yeah. Okay, never mind then. I
So,
just wanted to check.
yeah, unless someone has a halting,
No. I'm
Corgain
fine with
aids in getting people out of the water. It's cold, it's dark, there's waves, it's kind of chaotic down there. Gets everyone up that needs it, sopping wet, up the sea cliff, over the city wall, and you're all there positioned on the cobblestone streets, in the shadows, at night, sopping wet. And we've got Adriel and Jib with just a moment left of the hypnosis. Say 2
We need to
rounds.
search for them. Take their weapons from them.
everyone, yeah, well, we've already taken their weapons, or no, Esper?
Considering you all are ganging up on them, I don't see how they could really overcome that.
I was gonna say I want to skip to that point, but I just want to say, if we had to, we'd all hit Jib at the same time when it breaks to knock him unconscious. Is what I was going for. Open his suit, hit him. He was badly wounded before.
He was notably wounded. I don't know if I'd say badly.
Well,
You've disarmed Adriel and Jib of their weapons, and the hypnosis wears off, and Arachno shoots his hand crossbow.
which does what?
He's got a 15 to hit. It dinks off of the armored suit of Jib.
Oh, we all would have had ready to actions, I assume, at this point to take shots.
I'm not going to do ready to actions.
All right.
I think there was so much that was happening. This is just what you could work
Giving him
out
a
in
chance.
this quick
Yeah.
amount of time.
Well, he didn't take damage, so he's
You got
not
their
out of-
weapons pulled off of them. That was probably a bit of a struggle with that.
Sure.
So let's
All
just roll with the initiative. Walykos.
Sure. I'll activate my Zephyr
Yep.
strike, and I will go ahead and attack Jib with my staff, the Beak of the White Raven. And because I have advantage on this, I have triple advantage,
Oh my.
thanks to Elven accuracy.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, third d20. That is a 20 on one of the dice. So we'll
That sounds
just
like a
go-
critical hit.
That is a critical hit. So I get an extra d8. There's a lot of d8s here because the beak has an ability once per turn. You can deal an additional 1d8 radiant damage to a creature you hit with attack if you have advantage.
Mhm.
So, sorry. It's 2d8 radiant, 2d8 force, 2d6 of piercing because of my ranger feature once per turn. I can do that. And then, of course, the weapon damage. Sorry, I'm trying to find enough d8s. I may not have enough. Yeah, I'm going to have to re-roll some of these d8s. All right. So, Esper, does force, piercing, bludgeoning, and radiant damage matter in terms of should I split them? Okay.
No.
Thank you. 30, 32, and then I roll 2 more of these. Uh, 40, 45. Now for the static. It's +5, +1. I have 51 damage from the crit as I hit Jib upside the head with my first of 2 attacks.
You thwack him with the beak of the White Raven. There's a flash of radiance and ranger might, and he sprawls unconscious to the ground.
All right, I will not follow up with my second attack.
Yeah, you just start beating him on the ground like.
I mean, I could, but I choose not to. But yeah, that was a pretty fun way to take him out. And then I turn to Adriel and level my staff at him and say, "Don't move if you value your life."
I don't think I can.
Yeah, well, you're about. It's about to wear off. I say, "Don't speak. Don't move. Do nothing."
Adriel, you've come out of the hypnotizing stupor, and you know, Adriel's saying that, and everyone's around you. You've been disarmed.
That's my turn, which I believe brings us to Vapor.
And we're on the street level, right?
Yes.
Is it Vapor's turn?
Yep, Vapor.
Yeah.
What do you do?
He is conflicted right here. He wants to make sure Adriel doesn't get away, but at the same time, he knows Walykos has got a reason for not immediately swinging at him.
See what he does, and I know that he can do some shady shit and try and make a run for it. But I also know that
Vapor knows
if he does that, it's over for him.
Yeah.
So he has a choice.
Vapor is actually going to pull out a. No, I can't do that. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do something real fast.
Okay. Just ready in action with a cantrip, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do.
Which cantrip?
Actually, no. There is one thing. We have stripped Adriel of all his gear, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've taken his weapons.
That's
I
assume I still
imagine
have, like, my armor.
Corgain is probably holding on to Adriel as well. I mean, he had to hold him to fly him up there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I figure we haven't rifled through all his belongings yet.
Okay,
No,
so,
that
then
makes
so then that won't work.
You probably have like my short swords and like my like weapon, my main weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that won't work like I wanted. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, he'll just ready a cantrip.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a plan,
Stormbolt.
but if he still has his armor on, it would screw up what I had planned.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
You ready to Stormbolt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, that brings us to Adriel, yes?
Adriel, the hypnosis is worn off. Corgain is holding you.
Boy.
You've been taken of your the weapons have been taken away from you.
Am I like tied up at all?
No.
Not yet, no. You're just being held
Nope.
by a
You're
dragon.
sopping wet. The dragon claws are like, holding your arm.
I can definitely get out
You could.
because I have Misty Step, which
You
gets
do.
past the grapple. Like I could.
Put you
Oh
30
man,
feet away. Yeah.
that would be my action. I
But
could.
as soon as you get out, you have no
gonna
idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the scary part because like I could Misty Step out. I'm just going through my thought process for everyone in the audience as well. Like I could Misty Step out. That's 30 feet. Then I could bonus action dash.
No, your Misty
Or-
Step is your bonus action.
Oh, so well, action dash then yeah. So action dash for 70. So I could get 100 feet away. But there's like so many people here that have so many. Like I was already caught in hypnotic spectrum already.
Vapor has lightning crackling on his fingertips.
Corgan has a breath weapon.
Yeah, I think you got. Yeah, exactly. Like I know he's a dragon and stuff. Yeah, I think you see. Okay, so here's what Adriel does. So I think you see Adriel kind of like looking around, looking at all of you, kind of like he still has his mask on, obviously, but so you just see his eyes like looking at you guys, looking around. You see him like peering up and down, like seeing if there's a way out anywhere. And he realizes probably there's not really good way out at the moment. So he just sort of like looks down, defeated, and does nothing.
Okay. Well, I have my next action for my
Adriel
turn.
is despondent.
He realizes that if he were to, like, he has a chance to escape, but it's very, very low. And if he tried, then he actually might just get killed. Exactly, yeah.
Well, I believe that
Don't
brings us
try
to...
anything foolish, Adriel. You've already done enough of that. For one day, for one lifetime, I would say. Corgain's voice rumbles right in your ear.
Yeah, Adriel doesn't say anything yet, but he doesn't try to do anything either.
I believe
it's
Aygir
it's Corgain's turn. There's a bit of little beams, little cracks of radiance, kind of gleaming through from his throat as he's threatening you to not foolishly try to make a break for it.
Aygir.
Yep, Aygir.
Yeah. I don't know if he necessarily has anything else to specifically add, but you know, he has ranged weaponry. He's positioning himself between people who would try and escape and any potential route of escape, and just, you know, standing there being big and armored.
Yeah. Cool.
We got them now. There's nothing else we really need to do. Yeah, he'll ready.
Then
he'll ready an attack with his integrated lightning bow thing.
If it comes back to me, I think I can take us out of initiative potentially.
Yeah, we might already need to come out of initiative.
Well, my action was going to be to gag Adriel, which will prevent him from teleporting, so that we can do a more fluid, non-initiative thing.
So my question really is for Adriel. Are you
resisting?
Are you surrendering?
Yeah. Because you see me about to gag you.
That's a good question.
This is the last moment you'll have your ability to say anything or try to cast a spell before whatever happens is determined. All right, everyone attack him now.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Is there like any buildings anywhere nearby?
Oh yeah. You're in the Shackle Downs, right?
Yep, we're in the Shackle Downs. There are houses and shops of all shapes and sizes.
Anywhere that you could miss these
crouching either side of the cobblestone street, all around you. There are even a few people, like with their shutters open, like looking down from second and third and fourth story windows, watching this scene playing out, and just eyes wide and mouths gasp.
Yeah, I think Adriel is just going to accept his fate at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. I bind a gag around your mouth and make sure that it's, you know, really tight and stuff something in there so that you can't articulate words of magic. And then I will take my staff in one hand and grab your other arm, and I say, Corgan, we need to take him to the Duke's palace.
Yes, we do. He dims down the radiance welling up within his draconic throat and
look to the others,
shifts himself into his elven humanoid form.
Aygir, Vapor, can you deal with that incident? Yeah.
I can deal with it easily, and Vapor will cast Levitate on the unconscious.
And then push it along. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make sure if he wakes up, you hit him hard enough to knock him out till next week.
I think he's going to be unconscious for a while. At least an hour.
You should tie him so he can't move.
You should get him out of that suit of armor.
Actually, yeah, he's right. I'll keep him levitated. Strip him of that armor.
We're working on it.
Well,
we should do something about the wreck of that ship, but
We'll
don't
deal
think
with
that's
it
a right
after
now
this.
problem.
This right now is the priority.
Corgan, can you fly with all of us, or just one at a time?
Well, all of you would be much too much for me.
I think we should get to the palace quickly.
Yeah.
Can you take me and Adriel? I think they can handle, levitating him there. Once you get to the guards will help you. That's my logic.
Are we intent upon removing his suit?
Aygir will work on
I'll
that
leave
while
that to
we
them.
move.
Yeah, the Artificer will figure out how the fancy artificial
Okay.
thing comes off.
So Aygir and Arachno will help you, and you get his helmet off, and he is indeed an emerald half dragon underneath there, and you take several minutes, but you finally get him out of the suit in its entirety. You've also got his crossbow, which is quite a heavy crossbow, and it's got like a repeating bolt mechanism in it, and on his body he actually it's built into it. He has these like special kind of like alchemical canisters built into it. He's deployed a couple of them already, and he's got that spear. He has a potion of greater healing, and
I'll take that.
a sending stone.
Well, I'll let Aygir hold on to those things since you're taking all the armor. I
All right.
just want to get Adriel to the palace.
Yeah.
Some
We need to get him there, and we need very, very, very few people to know.
Well, I mean, people are going to know there's a dragon in the street.
Well, no, to specifically know about
Well,
Adriel.
Corgan had shifted back into humanoid form to stop making a big ruckus.
Okay, that's cool.
But if you're telling him, well, this is actually
I thought he was still a dragon.
Yeah,
I thought
actually,
he was
this is kind of irrelevant. Really, what's important is a time after you all
Yes.
are at Long Keep with your two captives.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what really is the meat and potatoes of what's going on here.
I thought that
Adriel was
Corgan-
not knocked out. Adriel surrendered and is taken in, gagged and bound.
Yes.
And Jib, or whatever his name might be, is unconscious, disarmed and removed of his suit. And
Yeah.
it takes not a large amount of time to summon the
Nice.
the interested parties of the leaders of Drakestone who have been ever engaged with the tumultuous situation at hand.
It's probably
And-
like 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. At this point, just running on fumes of hardly sleeping. And we'll see. We have the captain of the guard, Sources Flay, and we have
Seneschal Crane Wellings.
Seneschal will be there. The Duke will be there as well. Duke Orman will be there as well.
Was anyone from Mantevale summoned?
The word has been sent. They have not arrived yet.
Okay.
And there are a few knights as well.
Sveric.
Penn, Rigby, Penn Drakestone, Rigby, Bracken Bluff, and Varick Mantevale, cousin of Adriel.
Yeah.
Varick is standing a little ways back and just glowering, just brooding, visibly distraught over what you have relayed about Adriel going turncoat. And there are also a great many speculations about this half-dragon here.
Who are we with? Like, I know that we're all there, but, like, can we speak to the Duke right this second?
You're all there. Where you are is that same, like, inner dungeon chamber where you had previously interrogated the body of the port inspector who, like, killed himself with poison. Yeah, Mark and Oxivi. Also, not too far away from where you're located in a different, highly protected cell is the tanner who had been hiding or storing the crackle powder there at his tannery.
Which, now that we've captured the person who he's probably still pretty afraid of bail bonder. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, you could say that.
We'll see. But no, if we're down there, and is the Duke here with us, or?
Yep. Okay. Duke Ormond Drakestone looks as though he hasn't slept in a few days, and he probably hasn't, or very little. And he's wheezing as he comes into the room.
I would like to ask permission.
Another victory on behalf of the Vanguard. But a bittersweet victory. Young Mantevale, I knighted you! You have brought shame to House Drakestone! Spittle flicks from his old lips as he yells at you.
Duke Ormond, if I may, I would ask him to defend himself. Let me blindfold him so he cannot use magic to escape, but remove the gag so that he can at least tell us his...
Do as you will, but do not cover his ears!
No, of course not.
He needs to hear everything!
I would only ask for this allowance so that he may speak for himself and give his reasoning, even if it is tainted. So...
Pen Drakestone, the old, like, Grand Knight of Barnacle, stands with his arms crossed. He won't get too far if he tries to flee, but do as you will, Walykos. And he's like gesturing there. Nobody is actually in like a jail cell, by the way. There are some cells nearby that are like, they've got like the full door, which is like a little viewing slot that you can open and close from the outside. But no one's in the cells yet. You're like in this sort of interrogation portion of the inner dungeon.
I will put a cloth blindfold around Adriel's eyes, tie it. I'm trying to think what it is. Like if I had a scarf or something, something that's personal to me, I'll take off and I'll blindfold him with it. Not super tight. Like maybe you can see down below your feet.
Yeah, I can teleport like down if I want.
Yes, if you wanted to teleport down, I'm not going to.
You teleport that instead of 30 feet, 30 centimeters.
Exactly.
But I will then unbind your mouth and allow you to speak, Adriel, in this moment to the Duke.
Yep. I kind of like maybe spit out a little bit, like with all the salt water that's probably been in my mouth this whole time. Kind of spit out, clear my mouth, and like obviously I can't see anything, but I'm kind of just like moving my head around a bit. I'm obviously like bound and everything, and I'll speak out and I'll say, everything I did, I would do it again. I don't regret anything. Everything that's happening in this city of Barnacle is absurd. The civil war that's been going on with the Merocrats and the Drakestone, and the fact that the only reason you're all working together now is because of the threat of something greater than you, something to bring order and justice to this land. Disgusting. You both.
Your mind has been poisoned, young Mantevale. You're not even worthy to carry that name. You backstabbing half-breed.
I'll like kind of like spit maybe in the direction of him and say, "You don't deserve to be the ruler of this city, and neither do the merocrats. You both are ridiculous and fools. You don't know how to rule. You don't know how to bring order. You just sit in your...
A familiar hand.
You're trying my patience, boy. Adriel, you get the sense that the Duke is extremely exhausted and at his wit's end, and he could snap.
Yeah.
Are you in? This is just, you don't have to answer this, but you might think to yourself, "Am I wanting to provoke him?"
No, Adriel, like
consider
at
that.
this point, like he's been bottling up a lot of his
Yeah.
anger towards this whole, like, I guess, like bureaucracy, and like this is his moment of just like I could just be honest now,
I can
right?
say
So
whatever
yeah,
the fuck I want.
You give your jabs and your verbal lashes, and the Duke gives it right back, and you really get the sense that this old Duke is like, he is like just one more insult away from just completely
And,
losing his temper and just like going into a rage.
and in that moment, that's when my hand comes down on Adriel's shoulder, and I just like hold your shoulder.
that
I
kind of
say,
like go over.
Duke Orman, it has rended my heart for this to happen. There's no one closer, I think, to Adriel than I. But I would ask a boon in light of our service. Spare his life. Imprison him if you must. Put him in the darkest dungeon, but do not kill my friend.
That is not a decision that I am going to be making at this moment, but I'll say this. If he says one more insulting word, his head is going to be rolling across this fucking floor.
Let us then perhaps adjourn for the night. This can wait till after we have rested and have cooler heads.
What rest is there to be gotten at an hour like this? The fleet from... He, like, grips himself where that poison dart had struck him some months ago, and kind of, like, winces. He's, like, clearly running on to the point at the brink of exhaustion.
There is rest in
The
knowing...
fleet from Grootvadas will be descending upon Holmesgate within a day.
We have taken out the sub which attacked the ship, the flagship earlier. That was this half dragon.
You've dealt with one sea serpent, but there's an entire swarm of them heading
Perhaps.
towards Holmesgate.
But Duke, we have a chance now to study it and learn if it has weaknesses or things we can exploit. Perhaps we can even use it if it can be repaired. All I'm saying is, this was a victory, even if it was at a great cost.
The Duke is pretty fuming mad. Adriel, do you stay your tongue?
I think for now, yeah. Adriel, like with Walykos' hand on his shoulder, and like, yeah.
Okay. So, you bite your tongue. Walykos, his presence, brings you some amount of a slight glimmer of hope, maybe. Yeah, some slight solace.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very tense situation. So, the best that was worked out of that essentially was Adriel is going to be, kept blind, gagged unless we need him to be interrogated, and he's probably going to be just kind of locked away for the moment. They'll probably put him in just one of the cells right there.
Well, I would like a chance to talk to him for a few minutes, if they'll allow it.
Source's Flay is very much of the mind of, Walykos, please, may I have a brief word with you?
Sources. And I
the two of you were moved from the room.
Yep.
There is much that we could learn from Adriel.
Yes. I would like to speak with him. If anyone can get
Information
him
that
to
will
talk-
be valuable, perhaps necessary, crucial to the survival of this oncoming invasion.
I agree, and perhaps if we get this information, the Duke may see value in sparing his life. I know that is not my decision to make, and that will not be contingent on getting this information. I will get it regardless.
Yeah, I will do what I can to try to stay the Duke's rage, but
Give me.
he is
an
not
hour.
well. He is not
Yeah.
well. He is exhausted from lack of sleep, and at his age, his health could fail.
I need
The wound from the poison dart, he never fully recovered from that. I fear that if Adriel says one more wrong thing, he's going to come to a very swift end. And with him, valuable information that we need.
Sources, listen to me. I get it. Give me an hour with him in his cell. Lock the cell behind us and let me talk to him alone. And I can get you that information.
Do you
But
think
I
that he would
need-
attack you?
If he does, I'll take him down. I've always been able to.
We couldn't
best
let
him
you in
a
there
fight.
with a weapon, though. But what if he takes it from you and slays you?
Even in fists, I could take him down. I've always been better at him than a fight.
I'll see to it that it's done.
Yeah.
So the other big talk. So everybody, is back together now. The other big talk is you don't know exactly what's going to happen once the Giants' fleet reaches Holmesgate. There's obviously been just kind of non-stop speculation and planning and strategizing. Some think it's going to be a siege, and they're going to just slowly try to pick away and wear things down and block off all trade and eventually just over time wear down Haven Isle. Others think it's just going to be a full-out assault. They're going to just go completely aggro, even if that means they're going to lose some forces, and just try to hit hard and as fast and as powerful as they can before Barnacle can fully prepare and just take the city at whatever cost. So there's no end to these speculations as to what's going to happen. Also, I have to say a quick thank you to Gregory Wendell, who was very generous with 50 gold pieces. I'm enjoying your stories. Thanks. Thank you very much, Mr. Gregory. That means a lot to me. If you have a request for something you would like me to improvise into this session, please leave a comment. I'd be happy to do so.
Let Adriel escape. Make him do it.
Oh my. Saucy. All right, so I'm going to do a quick roll here for a thing. Jib's coming too.
I would like to take a short rest if that seems reasonable, Esper.
Okay, so are you wanting to get
It's
out
an
of there while Jib is coming too, or do you want to leave him conscious for an hour? Source's
I'm
Flay is
conscious.
going to start talking to him right now.
Okay, then I won't take my short rest. Yeah.
Okay.
Aygir will stay around there because he's also going to want to. Basically, when they're starting to assemble the war council on the matter of what to do with the fleet, he's going to want to join in with that because he has some ideas.
Jib's coming too. Was there anything that you all did in particular before he came to? Obviously, he's been stripped of his items. He's been shackled, probably
blindfold him.
wrists and ankles.
Blindfold him,
You blindfold him, okay?
just in case. Misty Step requires you to see where you're going. We have to leave his mouth open, so if he breath weapons or whatever, we'll deal with it. But, yeah. Search him maybe for secret, things that you might have.
Well, you found the only other items of note: the Greater Healing Potion and the Sending Stone.
I'll check his teeth just in case he has a suicide tooth.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Sure. Sorry, I know what I would put if I was Belvander on my agents. So that's 18 plus 0. 18.
As far as you can tell, The teeth are all real,
Wiggle. Yep. All right. They're all
real normal teeth that are in place.
Very
I'm doing a roll for one of the NPCs.
sure.
Okay. Pendrakestone, Sir Pendrakestone says, Duke, my lord, you should remove yourself from this chamber for your own safety.
Yeah.
There's no telling what all is going to fly from his mouth. It will be more than just words, I imagine. We'll do what we can to keep ourselves safe. Try to keep his face pointed away from everyone.
Yep. That's where the blindfold also helps. He can't kind of
So he's
pinpoint.
in irons. The Duke, the Duke gets escorted out. He goes into an adjacent room with Rigby Brackenbluff, and Pin and Corgain and Aygir, if you want to lend a hand in this too. Walykos, you got hold on to Jib and are holding his head to where he is not able to project a breath weapon at people. He's just pointed into a corner.
Yeah. Seems legit.
And he comes to.
Welcome back, Jib.
He's not saying anything.
Good sources
People throw
wanna take
people throw
these.
glances at each other. Now, Jib, listen here, says Sir Pendrakestone. We're going to call you that unless you give us your real name. Otherwise, you'll just have to accept that's our reference for you. No response. There are two ways we can do this. We can do this in a way that involves you cooperating, and you will benefit from the amount of generosity, elven generosity, that we can show you. Or we can do this the painful way. And it will be very, very painful. And you will regret any foolish move you tried. I am not going to make words with you. And that's it. He's not talking. No matter what you say, he is not talking. He is just lockjawed.
No, I think I have something that'll get him to talk. Because once people start getting angry, they can't help but talk. I'm going to say, well, maybe not words for him, but what about the one who killed your father? Zelix. He died in the water. I shot him down.
Hold it. Oh yeah, you did. That's right. Faber didn't finish it.
That's fine. If you won't answer our questions, we still have his remains. We have so many things we could do with him if you won't cooperate.
Just silence.
All right. He doesn't mind his father's body getting defiled. All right. Cut it up. I know we've already cut it up, but he doesn't.
I'll be wearing your father here in a couple days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I look towards sources and I'm like, I don't think he's going to give you anything of value. He's a right hand of a Balevonder. You might have better luck using magic on him. Compelling him to speak.
Sources Flay says, we might try to employ some sort of ability, whatever you all possess, or...
Torture probably won't get much, but you could try it if you want to. He's going to be specifically tight-lipped. I know what Balevonder does to his servants. They they're going to be very resistant to torture.
Yeah, but they will fall just as easily as his father did. His father was not that big of a challenge, so I don't think Belvander will be much one of either.
It's true. His father did kind of
Source's
collapse.
Flay says to Jib, "We need information from you. If you refuse to speak, you have chosen the path of pain." There's no reply.
Take him away.
Of course,
Get him on
there's
the
no
table.
reply. He's a coward as much as his father was a coward.
Oh, we're doing it right now? Okay, fine.
I mean, you guys can stay there or not. They open a door to an adjacent room, and they chain him onto a table.
If this is
he
just,
is completely bound, limb by limb.
I don't think Walykos sees the need for him to be if he's completely
Yeah, if this
bound
is
up
just
like
torture, Aygir is going to go find
Yeah.
whoever's
Don't need to
most in
watch
charge
that.
of planning the response to the approaching fleet.
that, looking for a general or something. It is like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning, keep in mind. So
All right, so you all leave from there, and behind you, you hear the tortured screams of Jib. And the door they shut it, and it muffles that out. You hear like a clacking sound of a dragon tooth hitting the stone floor, and them setting the rack to the next stage of tightness.
yeah. Well, we don't need to go into graphic detail. I don't think the door is shut. Stuff
That'll do it.
happens. Yeah.
This already isn't monetized.
Yeah, yeah, it will be.
So the thing I would like to do is that's going to take some time, I assume. Can we have a short rest, Esper?
A short rest is had.
Thank you.
Um,
I'll be spending hit dice to heal.
Yes, please do. And NPCs will be gathering to speak about the current situation. Nick. Adriel is pretty locked away. And, we anticipated that this could be one of the potential outcomes of the situation at hand. You're in a very small cell with just a solid iron door, and they're keeping a pretty close watch on you. Do you have any particular, are you trying to do anything in there? What is this door like? Looking for any escape, or are you just accepting it or just sitting there?
I assumed I assumed I'm blindfolded, gagged, and bound, right? Or am I able to move around? I assumed I wasn't able to move around. I was completely immobilized at the moment.
Yeah, you are shackled to a wall. You're chained
okay.
to a wall. You don't have a gag. You have a blindfold on though.
Okay.
A pretty thick, tight blindfold.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really have a way to touch your face. You're just kind of uncomfortably. You can uncomfortably stand or sit.
Yeah.
You can only move maybe a foot in each direction. It's a pretty cramped little cell you're in. You can slump against the wall and nap.
Mm-hmm. I guess I would maybe call out and say, is anyone there?
There's the sound of the little viewing slot on the door opening. Your cousin's voice comes to the darkness. Speak, cousin.
Oh, it's you. I'd like to speak to Walykos.
I will let him know when I see him.
Thank you. And then That's all I have to say.
Why did you do this?
Was he there when? Actually, I guess I wouldn't know if he was there. Just in my blindfold. I said, I gave my reasonings to the Duke earlier. I don't know if you were there or not, but I don't see how things are being done in this city at the moment to be the way they should be done. I think that Belvandor, I think that they would bring order to the city. They'd bring justice. They'd do away with these squabblings between the Merocrats and the Drakestone. It's absurd what's going on in this city, and anyone who doesn't see that is a fool.
Do you hate Elvenkind?
No, I don't hate any particular kind, and that's one of the things I find to be such an issue with this city. Calling me a half-breed as an insult? Ridiculous. There shouldn't be these discriminations in this city. Perhaps Belvandor
Come now, Adriel,
would...
let's not stand on such pretenses. Whenever you're against a foe, you will try to strike them at their weak spot.
Perhaps, but look at the dwarves. Look at what the elves are doing to them. Not saying the giants did anything better per se, but if I was instituted as the ruler of the city, then at least I could make things better.
But Adriel, why would anyone want a leader that would stab his own allies in the back?
Well, they don't have to be my enemies per se. I wouldn't stab them if they were to help me. If they were to see the ridiculousness of the city as I do. I don't see how anyone can accept the way things are done here. You see what's happening with the Merocrats and the Drakestone. Again, like I said earlier, the only reason that they're even slightly trying to come to a truce is because of the threat of Belvandor. What happens after they win? What happens if they beat Belvandor? Do you think it's going to stay peaceful? No, they're going to go back to their original squabblings and their own issues of control and power. There needs to be order, and they are not bringing it. They are working together for a common threat, not because they're allies.
I think when you are speaking of Barnacle, cousin, you are speaking of yourself. You're obsessed with this idea of order because you lack it inside. You don't have what it takes to remain dedicated and steadfast to the cause that you claim to be a part of. Instead, you lied and twisted your blade.
At least what I'm doing would bring order. You may not see it, cousin, but you have been indoctrinated by the ideas of what you view as good or evil. I don't see it that way. I see things from, well, my perspective, and you might see it as evil, but I see it as bringing order and justice. But, well, I wish you could see it my way.
I'm not one for studying philosophy, Adriel.
I won't say anything else to him.
I'm gonna have to tell your mother and everyone else. I imagine you will be disowned by the family.
I never had much from that family in the first place. It's not like they ever gave me much, never did anything much for me. The fact that my grandfather and his dealings with demonic forces and we pardon him. Why? Because he has power, because he happens to be the head of the house. It's ridiculous.
Well,
It's absurd.
he has repented and atoned for his dark deeds, and he is very instrumental to preserving the city. You seem to
Perhaps.
boil with hatred.
I just see things different than you. I think that if someone
Well, that is obvious.
I think if someone commits these sorts of atrocities and crimes, well, why should they not be punished? Why should they not be put to the stake, put to the gallows? Drakestone, or I'm sorry, the Duke may have it right. Take my head off, because if I get out of here, I'm going to do it again. Wouldn't hesitate an instant.
You are a lost soul, Adriel. No one would ever follow you. You would kill your own family.
Yeah, I won't respond to him. He says that.
I'm very sorry that things turned out this way. And he slides the viewing slot shut and leaves you there, alone in the dark. A short rest is had, and
Feel a lot better after I've taken time to tend my wounds. Still not at maximum, but close.
we have a number of different people gathered. Not Sorcerer Flay at the moment. He's involved in the dirty work. But you have most of the major knights that you all are familiar with.
Yeah.
We have the Duke. We have the Court Seneschal. We have Duncan Mantevale and Crispin
Duncan,
Hallows. They are nearing the completion of Aygir and Vapor's weapon and implement, respectively. And assuming, and this is their word, assuming that we don't collapse from fatigue, it will be done in the morning.
Yep.
And they are, like servants bring them fine pipes of Zagape, and here we go again, another round of this. So
well, this then I guess is the time where Aygir will actually go off to help them finish it.
okay.
Well, okay. I mean,
After this meeting, you'll head back to
Right.
the Storm
Right.
Tower.
Yeah, no, he doesn't just completely fuck off from this and disappear to that.
yeah, there's a little
course.
bit more to do here, but then yes, I think we all deserve a day off
Exactly.
before the invasion happens,
Exactly.
as it were. I'm just waiting.
Recent updates from
Hold on.
the...
Esper.
Yes! What is it, Vapor?
Actually, no. This Vapor would like to pull Walykos to the side before they go into the meeting, and all
Is that
he's
okay?
doing is,
Yeah.
"Are you gonna be fine?"
Like Walykos is like silent for long seconds. I have to be. There's no way that I can not be. I have to be strong enough to deal with this right now, because no one else can deal with the things that we have to deal with at Vapor.
I know, but that does not mean you have to be fine.
Things that
I
are asked
never
of
won-
us could break any man in the city. But we have to be better. We have to be the knights, the vanguard, who the others look to in these dark times. I know that you're trying to ask whether or not I can be fine. I can't answer that. I can only say that I'm going to do everything I can to harden my heart so that this doesn't break me.
I will support you however I can in this endeavor, Walykos. You know that.
Thank you,
I was not
Vapor.
close to Adriel, but his betrayal still stings. He was one of our brethren in combat, at least.
I had thought him better than that myself.
You're not there. This is
Oh.
just us. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just Vapor and
Sorry.
Sorry,
I
he
missed-
specifically asked to just grab me.
You're
Otherwise,
right. You're right. You did
Yeah.
do that. I heard meeting at the Storm Tower, and then
Sorry.
that,
yeah,
and somehow
yeah,
I
no,
conflated the two.
this is Vapor wanting to just make sure Walykos is going to be alright for the most part.
There's little bits of tears that you see at the corners of my eyes, and Walykos just nods and is like, "Thank you, thank you."
When this is over, I'll make sure there's a place for your yacht and the curtains for you if you want to get away from it all.
When this is over, well, you're so optimistic. Well, if this ends at some point, I will maybe take you up on that.
Good.
But I don't have any illusions that this will be ever over.
It will
Until
truly
Bale-
be over.
Not until
It won't be-
Bale Vonder's dead.
And I expect we're going to be seeing you take his head at some point. Walykos, you've come far, as of all of us. I'm positive you'll be the one doing it.
Maybe.
Now come. I've held us up long enough. We have a meeting at 10.
He just nods and he comes with you. Kind of subdued now that, like, he was trying to remain strong, but then you just had to open up the wound, you know, and be like, "Hey, what's under that bandage? Everything good?"
I
That's
know,
good.
I know. But Vapor doesn't think the same way.
Just a moment,
He's-
Vapor. I just need a moment. I'll be right in.
I'll keep him busy.
All right, thanks.
Vapor
And,
will head and give Walykos a chance to recenter himself because he knows he's opened up a wound, but he had to do that before they went in because he was worried.
Yeah, Walykos now more in touch with himself a little bit after that conversation. He recenters, gets his game face back on, you know, and he enters the room. Please, Esper, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry, but I wanted to do that before we went in.
Apologize to the Duke.
No.
Delaying us much more than enough. The current word from Holmesgate is that the fleet from Groot-Vaders will be landing within 1 day, or at least within attack range of Holmesgate within a day. You have sunken the underwater vessel. Good for that. We can now send our ships to Holmesgate without that Iron Sea Serpent taking them down. Allies continue to come into the city. Streams and trickles from nearby settlements. And forces from Plethoris are to arrive in a few days' time. Hopefully so, with optimistic estimates. There is panic in the city. The common wings are looting, rioting shops. Several are fleeing the city. Many people are fleeing the city. And probably it's for the better for them. They might just die if they stay here. We will stand, and we will make our fight. There is a chance that we can win this. What do you all reckon? So, the submergible has been taken out. We can assume that it's just at the bottom of the water there until someone figures out a way to be able to operate it. It's quite esoteric, the controls. Yeah, the ships from Groot-Vaders will be within attack range or arriving at Holmesgate within a day or so. Allies are arriving in the city. Some are arriving now. The bigger forces from Plethoris will still take a few days. A lot of people are fleeing the city, and a lot in the commons is just going to crazy chaos because it's just exploiting the situation. Like people.
So the Duke
might
is asking us, what do we reckon?
Well, this is a many heads together thinking and strategizing, and
Of course.
the board has changed now that the submergible is out of the picture.
Yes.
Do you all want to get on a ship? It says, or get onto a ship or onto a kite sail. The knights are
So-
going to be going to Holmesgard to help fight the
Aygir
initial
chimes
wave.
in and says, "Well, we do have a certain asset. We have an airship.
We have more than an airship, Duke. We have Utsera and her daughter Avasera. Or did I get those backwards?
Avasera is the daughter. Yeah, she's here.
Yeah. I have Avasera and also at least one dragon on our side that I can speak to, that we can bring to Holmesgate to begin our initial defense. We may have to fall back to Barnacle, but I believe we should go and try to bloody the forces of the giants as best we can.
Yes, we can set them afire and sow chaos. There's much we can do there.
I was going to say the Sea of Lava.
They are sailing the
assume-
sea of lava. There will be no firing them.
Oh no, I'm just saying the Sea of Lava is not a place that we want to let them past if we can. If we can, stop them there from getting into the inner sea, maybe we'll have a good chance.
The Blessed Waters.
The Blessed Waters is what
The
you're
Blessed
calling it?
Waters. Yep, that's
Okay,
the
fair
actual
enough.
water, the fresh water inside the obsidian barrier.
I mean, if we can find a way to damage their ships or upset their plans somehow, the Sea of Lava is not something that is lightly crossed. We can maybe hold them there. But the airships, they can't deploy their submarines till they get to the Blessed Waters. Submarine, I call it their underwater ship, whatever you would call it,
I'm going to make a roll for Crispin Hallows, the Tower Wizard of House Mantevale, who is an expert in Arcana. And he is befuddled as much as anyone else for such a vessel's existence. Aygir, Artificer, would you like to make an Arcana check now that you have gotten to see the thing up close and personal?
Yeah, that certainly sounds like something you can do. Ooh, well, doesn't roll all that well, but does have some bonuses. It ends up being a 15.
Okay, you as well are rather befuddled. You have never heard of such a thing before. And clearly this isn't something that's known of in elven culture, and it's not talked about in any detailings of battles with giants. Did just Jib himself completely engineer this? Like, was it his own original idea? Is he this, true original, a genius? Did he get the idea from somewhere else? Are there more of these things? Those are all good questions. But while you would lend credence to what Walykos speculated, that those underwater vessels don't go through lava.
Yeah,
So
so they'd
if
have
they
to have
did
built
have
it here, or have it ready to deploy here. But it seems unlikely. Logically, I don't know that they're going to have more of them.
Yeah, it seems like something about the operation at Tastinietzat was that was what they were
It's
doing
crucial.
there.
It was
Yeah.
it was sort of a forward outpost that they were going to use to strike and
Right.
open the way. Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to give you half a milestone for pronouncing Tastinietzat.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Wait, how many
I should
milestones
actually
do
give
you
milestones, though.
Ooh, yeah. the
yeah.
combat.
Yeah, everybody gets 2 milestones.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I shouldn't
Also,
forget
Grootvaders and Terra Morgana,
that. Yeah,
Margolologolo.
yeah. There's actually a longer, complete name to Grootvaders, but I can't quite remember off the top of my head. It's like Lunda something Grootvaders.
So let's talk
Okay.
strategy though. with
Yeah,
the
let's
dude.
talk strategy. So if you all are willing to go to Holmesgate and help them
Holmesgate.
fight there, you
Yeah.
can.
I
But
think that's
just to
what
kind
we
of paint the
need.
picture, right? We've got these obsidian mountains that rise up really high out of the
Yeah.
Blessed Waters, and there's this what would be an opening, but Holmesgate fills that opening. It's like a fortress that spans the whole opening and creates literally a giant a massive gate.
Yeah.
Plus, there's like the the ramparts and the towers and the fortress and such.
The giants.
It's
coming...
a pretty intense place to have a battle. But I mean, if non-7th level adventurers are soldiering it, maybe you all could muster up some courage too as well. But it seems rather dicey.
Here's
not
my
easy terrain.
Yeah. Oh no, it's definitely
ranged attacks. Ranged attacks seem to be the mainstay.
Magical.
Exceptions would be those on like flying vessels that like swooped in there close to the enemies. But keep in mind, you have many ships incoming. So who knows what all they could be project, like the volleys and fulisades.
Yeah. We do also have quite a stash of crackers powder.
Look, let's not get into the...
That's another point. You all have a pretty good set. I don't know if it's... You could probably dry it out on time. But where's the other half of the crackle powder? It's not... That's not known. They're trying to get some information out of Jib at the moment about that and other topics.
I will have your answers for you on the crackle powder, sir. But here's what's important. There's going to be a battle at Holmesgate. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. We need to hold them there as long as possible. They may be able to break through with enough force, but if we can bleed them there, they may not have enough forces to take Barnacle. They might make the Inner Sea, but then we can surround them in the Inner Sea and attack them with our allies, if they don't have the forces that they need. The airships. I think this should be our priority as the Vanguard. If we can deal with those airships and take out their air support, we can then control the sky with the Drakes, Riders, and with our, magical ways of doing so.
Yeah, you captured one of the aeroskiffs along with the pilot.
Yeah.
So assuming he keeps cooperating, you guys can have access to that.
Duke Orman, I suggest Aygir find a vulnerability in these airships. He's studied them the most. He'll probably have this vulnerability soon. If we can buy enough time, we may find a critical vulnerability, perhaps something explosively so, that we could do with the airships. And if we can keep the airships from attacking Holmesgate, I don't believe the ships, no matter how many they are, they have to funnel in, and that weakens them. They can't bring their full force to bear.
Yep, it is a bottleneck situation.
A small amount could do a lot when you can hold this pass, as it were.
And if we can find such a vulnerability, I'll make sure to patch it on our own.
You should definitely look into that, Aygir. That should be your top priority for the next few days, even while the fighting is happening. I would like to go with the Drake Riders myself, maybe Vapor, Aygir, whoever else we can muster. And we won't be fighting in the trenches, as it were, in Holmesgard, but we will be specially targeting the airships that will no doubt be, making their strategic attack.
Okay. So, plan is starting to form, and it sounds like you all are going to go to Holmesgate. So that's
I'm 100% for it.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest takeaway from this moment, even though the other points in there are important. Who has the sending stone that was pilfered?
I believe
from
it's
Jib?
physically in my presence right now.
Okay, you are receiving a sending.
Go ahead.
What does it say?
A voice. A giant's voice. Vast and dark. Sounds in your mind. Speak with me. What is the situation there in Barnacle?
That's all it says.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's limited to 25 words. Well, do we find out how good Aygir is at imitating voices? I don't know that he heard Jib speak is the thing.
He said that one thing.
Yeah.
And you heard him scream.
Well, here's the thing. It's magical mind to mind.
Okay. Actually, here, better idea.
I don't
So,
know that you could fool him with your mind.
well,
That's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna know one way or the other if nobody responds versus if somebody different responds. So,
You do what you
Aygir
do.
is going to put on his best imitation of Adriel and say, Wander, help! We're under it! Or something like that. And like, cut it off.
Okay. Give me a deception check.
Alright, time for my horrible, shitty, just abject, disgustingly bad charisma to come into play.
Who got the inspiration last time?
You did.
Did I?
Well, despite that, I rolled a 19, so I got a 17.
Yeah. Okay.
Somehow. Huh.
Okay. So that's how sending stones work. Is that, and not
Yeah.
until next dawn can they be used again.
Sure.
So
we'll wait.
We'll
and see
let
if
that
something comes
just
out
kind
of
of cook. We'll let that cook in the background.
Either which way, that is going to be very interesting to see how he reacts.
Are you all going to take a rest, or do you want to try to just stay up all night, smoke some Zagape to keep yourself perked up, and try to go in and attempt to resist
Esper,
exhaustion?
I would like a scene with Adriel after the hour passed, assuming I can get in. Like, I will do whatever I can to get in. I'm not going through the Duke, obviously. He's cranky and old right now. I will talk to Sources Flay and see if he can. This information is critical, is what I will keep, pushing. Like, give me an hour.
Okay. So
Well, we can do that.
Walykos wants an hour to speak with Adriel.
Yeah.
Duncan Mantavale and Crispin Hollows are going to go back to the Storm Tower, and they're going to just try to pull all night and continue to work on Aygir's sword.
And that's
and
where Aygir
Vapor's,
goes as well. He's
Vapor's,
gonna-
oh my gosh, the rod, right? The Feywild shard?
The shard.
Yeah, the crystal. Yeah.
Vapor actually would like to try to go back to the submarine and look for anything that could be used as information in the upcoming attack. He would be the best suited because he can hold his breath.
I mean, yeah.
So he can spend his
So you're doing that tonight, not in the morning?
he will do that in the morning, I think. But
Okay,
at
so
some point
you
he
will
wants
sleep.
to do that. He wants to get some sleep.
Okay. So you sleep. Last question, Esper. What did Corgain and Arachno, what did they do? You don't have to tell us if we don't know. What was the last thing that we knew that they said they were going to do?
Arachno is going to keep watch to make sure nobody comes messing around with that sunken vessel.
Good for him.
He's going to keep a lookout there. Corgain awaits you all outside Longkeep. He wants to stay nearby you guys.
I guess I wouldn't be leaving, but I could make like a small trip out just to like say that I was going out to get something from the Storm Tower or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I meet Corgain and I'm like, he's in the Duke's hands now. I'm going to try and speak with him tonight.
I'm not going to hold out any sort of hope that Adriel or Jib tells us any information that will help us. If we are able to get that out of them, great.
But if not,
but
we
they
need to
seem
continue. Yeah.
that seems such a long risk. And
Adriel can at least tell me some things. I think he has information. It may not be the critical, earth-shattering information, but he knows things that could help us if we were to know them as well.
I will remain here. I will try to keep from dozing off too much. And
Yeah.
he's at basically like one of the top levels of Strong Castle, and just reclining in a cushioned couch. And the general, like, those that know of the Vanguard, like, know you guys personally and have seen you and met you,
He's a guest.
they know that, like, he's an ally of yours, though they don't know the full extent of what his capabilities
all they
are.
need to know is he's our guest and he should be treated well. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll say thank you, Corgain. I'll speak with you again, but get some rest. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. We're going to need you at your best.
Same goes for you and the others.
Yeah. Well, we need to tighten our ranks now more than ever. We need to be of one purpose, or we're going to fall.
Have you ever noticed anything, any reason to have any misgivings regarding Vapor or Aygir?
No.
Adriel's the only one who has been troubled in this way.
Yes. The others, they seem pretty consistent in their beliefs. Adriel has always been flexible. He's been willing to do things or try to grasp on the power that he could use for himself, even if the power is cutting his hand as he holds on to it.
Well, good for that. The last thing we need right now is another surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll rest as we can, and tomorrow we go to Holmesgate.
Tomorrow, Holmesgate. I'll see you in the morning.
I'll see you then.
Walykos will head back towards the dungeon then.
Okay, so Walykos is going to go speak with Adriel. Aygir and Vapor go to the Storm Tower with the Master of Rituals and the Tower Wizard to work on completing the items. And hopefully with the four of you working
Vapor's
together.
taking a long rest.
Vapor's taking a long rest. Okay, Aygir's.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm out of spell slots. I need spell slots. And my sorcery points back.
I hear you, man.
All right, so
I would hope there is an opportunity for a long rest, but this is his first priority.
I hope so too. Walykos, you are let into the inner ward. Varric Mantevale is there, and as he lets you in, he comes in close to you. Adriel was requesting to speak with you. He is very fervent in these beliefs that he has, and I've never seen so much bile roiling inside of a person. He seems to consider himself some sort of, I don't know, mastermind, philosopher. He seems very philosophical, but in such a reckless way.
I know that it's hard. Adriel's not the person who we hope he is, but he is still, a piece of him is still Adriel.
You're one of the few people that can see it, Walykos, and
yeah.
For your sake, as much as anyone else's, you probably shouldn't hold too much affection to that. I think his well is poisoned.
Varric, thank you for your words. I understand. I've known him like a brother. I know that you've known him for a long time, being cousins, but we grew up together. I've known him since he was like, I motioned like really small, but we I need closure. I need to speak with him one last time, and then I won't constantly be coming back here.
Very well. Good luck to you.
Thanks. I head over, and assuming that they open the door, I'll set my staff outside.
Yeah, so Varric Mantavale.
What's he gonna do though?
He unlocks this like heavy iron door. Makes you make sure to put your weapons aside, and
Does he
let him
search me? Like, I'm just curious.
He does not search you. Are you secreting anything inside?
We'll find out.
Okay. I think you're at that such high level of confidence with them.
I thought, yeah.
And so he just lets you in, shuts the door, locks it behind you. Adriel is there. He has shackles to his ankles and his wrists. He's chained to the wall, and he has a pretty heavy, dark blindfold.
Yeah, they did it better.
So Adriel, you hear the door open. There were some whisperings out there, and soft voices, and then you hear footsteps. The door opens, and Walykos is in there, and the door is locked behind
You
you.
probably see like I don't know it's Walykos, but you probably see like my head kind of tilt up a bit. And, like obviously I can't see anything, but kind of like moving it around a bit. Say, who's there?
I think I'm silent. I just kind of go to the corner of the room and I lean.
I'd probably speak up again. I'd probably be like, who's there? Is that you, Drakeston?
It's me, Adriel.
Walykos.
Yes.
Glad that you could come.
I don't have long. We only have an hour. But I managed to convince them to let me speak to you before whatever is determined on the morrow. Let's not beat around the bush. I want you to tell me everything that you know about the plans of Belvander. Everything that you can tell me, no matter how inconsequential, every meeting that you had, every person that you spoke with since you started working for him.
I don't know if I can do that, Walykos.
Why not?
Well, assuming
what allegiance do you owe to him now?
Well, I made my choice. Whether I tell you or not, I'm going to be in this prison probably for the rest of my life.
You made a choice, yes, but we also made a choice when we swore that we'd, stick together when we became the Vanguard to protect this city, to try and change the city for the better. Is Belvander really deserving of your loyalty?
Well,
what does it matter to you if you screw him over one last time? After all, you've already screwed him many times before now.
assuming he wins this upcoming battle, though.
Oh, you think he'll
Perhaps.
reward you? Think maybe there'll be a place at his side? Adriel, I've been
do.
trying to tell you all along that he doesn't give a shit about me. He doesn't give a shit about you. Do you think he spent one night wondering where I was? His curse. He thought I was dead. But, you know, even if I wasn't, do you think he worried about me coming back, doing anything to disrupt his plans? He's been wrong about that. And he's probably angry and livid that this child that he threw away, that he just was willing to let die, has done so much to thwart him. But I think that you need to open your eyes one last time and see. Belvander is going to treat you the same. You don't know who he is. I do. I just want you to realize that he doesn't care about you. I'm going to walk over to Adriel. I'm going to let you reply. I just wanted to say I'm going to walk over and I'm going to take off the blindfold. We're in here alone. And I know that this is a dangerous move.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I lift the blindfold up just above, it's still
Yeah.
wrapped around you, so it can
Yeah.
be pulled back down if needed.
Kind of like tilt my head up a bit
It's,
to kind
it's
of get
tight,
it.
so I probably have
Yeah.
to like yank it a bit to get it
Yeah.
where maybe one eye can see,
Yeah.
so I can look you
Kind
in
of
the
like
eyes.
looking out at you a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
in
very
your face.
shadowy where you are too. Like there's just
Yeah.
a little bit of light coming in through like maybe a
Mhm.
crack.
And I'm gonna be this close to you, and we're just eye to eye.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
if you want to, you can look past me, but it's gonna be hard. I'll notice if you look past me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely be like looking at you. And I'll say, well, it's good to see you again, Wally, because didn't know if I'd get a chance again.
good to see me. You could have seen me at any point. You could have continued if you had just made a different choice. But you were so filled with your way is the only way.
What do
I'm
you
not
think is going to happen, Walykos, after if they do beat Belvondor? Do you think it's going to go back to some happy, peaceful city where there's the Merocrats and the Drakeson are just
We'll
going
never
to
know.
all of us?
We'll never know what's going to happen because I don't.
Well, I do
expect-
know what would happen if you and I and the Vanguard followed Belvondor. He would reward us with this city. He would give it to us. We could rule it how we
Adriel,
see fit. We
it's
could
too late
make
for
things
that.
better, Walykos.
It's no, Adriel. We couldn't make it better. You would make it in your own image, and that's not a city where I think anyone here would want to live. Do you think Aygir would be happy there? Vapor would be happy there? What
And
would
like
you do?
I'll sort of like rattle like my chains a bit, trying like obviously like I can't break out, but like just
Yeah.
like kind of like
Yeah.
attempting sort of in a
That's
sense.
fine.
And say, Walykos, you don't understand. This city is corrupt. The
Stop.
powerful do not have to account for anything. You saw what my grandfather did. Yes, maybe he repented, but
Adriel,
but the damage he caused is absurd, and they only accepted him back because he happens to be what the leader of my house. How can you not see this?
Adriel, that's not why they accepted him back. That's the reason that you see why they accepted him back. But the reason why he was accepted back is because he repented and he actually took steps to make things right. I've been trying to take steps to make things right. Why do you think I even, pledged myself to the White Raven? Do you think that she had already changed my mind? Do you remember when we killed those halflings?
Yes, I do. They were weak and they didn't accomplish the job that they said that they could do. I don't see an issue with it.
There was no need to kill that last halfling, though. With the others, they got themselves killed. They all fell to their deaths. That last halfling we killed because you wanted to kill him.
He
Lie to
deserved
me, lie to everyone else, but don't lie to yourself.
He deserved it, Walykos.
Why did he
was
deserve
weak.
it?
He was weak, and he didn't
And that's
do
such
what
a
he...
sin in your world. That's why no one wants to live in your city. When weakness is worth death, when weakness is a sin, Aygir, Vapor, the people of the city, no one would be safe from your judgment of their weakness. To be a leader is not to be strong. It's to accept other people's weaknesses and try to make them stronger, not just
Yes.
eliminating them.
Just as the Duke accepts half-breeds,
The
Walykos.
Duke is not
How would
important
he?
here.
How would he have responded to you if he saw you as you were before the White Raven gave you back your beauty? Do you think he would have knighted you? Do you think he would have accepted you as you were?
The
No.
Duke is not on the one who I'm here to talk to. Look, Adriel, the hour is late. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that the tolling of the bell, it is very late for this. We could spend our last hour together talking of politics and the Duke and how this city could be changed. But we'll never know what could have been if you had made a different choice, if you had stayed with me, had trust and faith that we would have found a way together. Because I've seen more impossible things done with just the two of us working towards them than, this world doesn't know what we could accomplish together. I'm losing my words here, but look, Adriel, I don't want to talk about the Duke. I don't want to talk about the politics. I don't even, you know what? I don't need to know why you did what you did. That's between you and, well, whatever powers that you believe in, be that Baal Vondor or yourself. I loved you, Adriel. I damn it, I still love you as a brother. And that's why I'm asking you now, if you still care about me, if there's still anything that is beyond this notion that a power and Baal Vondor as your master, I think it's me, and I think that I'm asking you right now to help me. Whatever happens to you, I can't change the choices you've already made. Only in this moment can you make this choice.
Like, Adriel will take a moment and sort of, like, obviously, like, look away as much from you as possible.
That's fine. I'm still dominating your view.
Yeah. And
there's no way to
think
escape
to
it.
himself, he'll say, I don't know if you're right. I don't know much anymore at the moment. Being locked in a cell, obviously I lost. Things didn't go the way that I wanted them to. I still view the things I did to be in the best interest of Barnacle and of everything that I stand for. I wouldn't just kill people for being beneath me. I want to protect the citizens. I want to bring them actual justice. I want to make people pay for the things that they do, whether they are nobility, whether they have money, whether they have power. No one should be above the law.
Words are easy. Actions are hard. You've said many words. You've said these things over and over, but you've also changed to Baal Vondor's side. You've preached his word. Adriel, I know who you are. I've known for years. I was by your side. The knife, the blood on your hands is on mine. I'm going to try to show you with my actions that there's another way. I make a solemn vow to you now that no matter what happens, whether you live in these dungeons, you die at the Duke's hand, Baal Vondor rescues you when the city falls, I will do everything I can to save the city and the people in your name and your ideals, but not the way that you want. I'm going to try to show you that there's another way. I'm just going to take the white feather out and hold it in my hand.
Yeah.
Just rub my thumb over it.
I'll like kind of look at you again with like my one open eye. I'll say, how I wish that this was true, Walykos. You are the only one that I've ever been close to. You're the only one that I've ever cared about. Never really cared much for my grandfather, for the rest of the Vanguard, for my cousin, for my mother. No one. I don't see them much as anything other than just figures in my vision. Pieces to be used, to be thrown away, to be manipulated. You're the only one that I've ever cared for, Walykos, and I don't want this to be the last I see of you. But
then tell me what I want to know. Just give me this last thing, and perhaps I can speak to the Duke. Perhaps we can still find a way, but can't help you if you're not willing to give up Bale Vonder. You have to give him up. And mean it. Not just be saying what you think we want to hear. Not be doing this so that you can later on benefit. This is something that you just have to do selflessly.
I know one thing that I can think of.
All right.
When I went to the Honeybeaks to meet with the daughter,
Yeah.
I don't think that the daughter or the mother knew, but
Clint's honey.
there is something. I believe Clance knows more about what may be happening.
The noble of House Strongcastle.
Yes.
Did he speak to you? How do you know this? What did he say? How do you know that he's related to Belmonder?
And like Adriel's like really struggling to like say anything, to speak anything right now, but like he's
I try and like soften my tone as I ask, but just leaving it because you're vulnerable.
we spoke about things he knew about Jeb and Belvandor. He invited me through Thieves' Cant through a secret message in the letter.
So he's a conspirator.
He is, but I do ask you to not harm any of his family or his daughter. They have nothing to do with it.
I can see that. Clance is the only other one that you know of in the city. Is there anyone else?
Out of character, I believe that's all Adriel knows, right? I don't think Adriel knows of it.
Yeah, I as far as I know, out of character.
You were still at the proving step, Adriel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, okay. Yeah, so Adriel will say, no, that's, I believe that's all I know.
Then that may be enough. That's more than we had, and that could potentially save a great many lives. Adriel,
Perhaps.
I want you to know that even now, I see that there's a part of you that wants to be good, but you're so confused. Belvander has twisted all the things in you that were good, and he has turned them into this twisted version of yourself. I think that with time, you might be able to perhaps see that his is not the way. But I can't just tell this to you. I can't say 100 words that magically change you. I'm going to have to show you. And I hope that you're allowed to stay alive long enough for that day to come.
And like, you'll see Adriel maybe for the first time actually look a bit kind of sad in his eyes, maybe even potentially tearing up a little bit in his one free eye. He'll sort of say, I think I'm a bit long gone, Walykos. I don't see myself getting out of this one. But I do.
Where there's life, there's hope. And
Maybe
I know
Walykos.
one thing, that is that you cling to life. And so you cling to hope.
I just don't want to see you hurt again like you were. And I want to see people actually be happy for once in this rotten city.
I'll do everything I can to try and recognize the dream that we had once. I may not be able to do it your way, but I'll get it done, if it's at all possible.
Let me
I
know how
don't
the
think
battle.
there's any words or anything I can leave you of comfort in here. But if you hold on to nothing else, know that, Adriel, I'm still your friend.
All I ask
And
is
I
that
will always be your friend.
all I ask Walykos is that if they do decide to end me, I want it to be you to do it.
Walykos is like silent. Like that's heavy thing to ask. If that's the decision of the Duke, I'll make the request.
Thank you.
Sorry. Sorry that I couldn't save you, Adriel.
It's not your fault, Walykos. You did what you thought was best, and I did what I thought was best, and, well, you beat me again, like you always do. I was hoping I could get the better end of the sword this time.
Adriel. Fuck. I know that you let me win some of those times.
Not all of them, though.
Not all, but I could always tell when you had the upper hand. You're a brother to me. You're my best friend, Adriel. I hope that you live and that there's something after this, everything that's happening. I may not be allowed to see you again anytime soon, but I have to go. Is there anything else? Anything that you want me to do? A last request, something to tell your mother? I know that she's not particularly high in regards for you, but
I'll just sort of like shake my head and say, I only really wanted to talk to you one last time, honestly. Tell them what you want.
well, like I said, if you hold on to nothing else, hold on to the fact that I'm your friend, and that's not going to change in life or in death. I'll see you on the other side if that's what it takes. And we'll reminisce on the happier times over some Zagape or Grove Sheen, perhaps.
I'd like that.
I don't have any more words. I'm just gonna sit here as long as we have, perhaps.
Yeah, and Adriel,
I have to put the blindfold back on before they come back. You understand?
yeah, no, I understand.
All right. We'll sit there for minutes. Like the time just kind of falls off the clock. I don't know if it's been an hour, if it's been 5 minutes. Time just doesn't have meaning in a moment like this. As we just sit in silence in the dark. I probably actually at one point sit down beside you and just kind of put my arm around your shoulder and like hold on to you and give you whatever small comfort a friend can in this fucked up situation. Like you're in jail. I don't want to get too personal here, but I've been there once. It's not fun. It's something that it has a huge mental impact on you. You get really despondent. You get really like inside your head. So this is the last hour that you'll have of anything positive for a long time, probably.
Yeah.
So let that stick with Adriel. And then as you know, after however long, I put the blindfold back on and I'll stand up and I'll walk over to the door. Unless, you know, they enter in first. But, you know, Esper, that's up to you.
Varric is at the viewing slot.
Yeah.
You've gone quiet in there. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine, Varric. I'm fine. I'm here. Adriel's still here.
Do you need more time?
No, I think everything that's needs to be said has been said. don't think more time is what we need. But
All right. He lets you out. Shuts the door again. Locks it. Takes you out to the adjacent
have
room.
information.
Shuts that door. Locks it.
for
Yes.
sources, I have crucial information for sources Flay. We should act upon it immediately.
Oh, let's
Clance
go then.
Honeybeak is let's go. I'll say it with sources Flay there.
You go to the torture chamber. Sources Flay and another kind of ugly, hardened, chiseled looking elf are in there. Jib is on the rack, and it looks like he's no longer like in the stretched out position, so you don't know if he's dead or if they're giving him a break or what's going on. He looks to be missing a number of his fangs.
Yeah.
And Source's Flay's wearing this leather apron, and there's
Like you do.
there's some fresh blood spatters on it.
Captain Flay, I have
He's
some
not
critical
talking,
information.
but we're not through yet.
Very well, but let me tell you what we found out. Some new information's come to light.
Very well.
Step outside. Unless you want him to hear for some reason.
Keep an eye on him. Come on. So, Source's Flay and you and Varric remove back to that initial chamber.
So I want to say thank you for letting me speak with Adriel. I did. And while he was reluctant at first to give anything up, I was able to sway him in the end. He told me of the final conspirator that he knows of in the city, one who we had no idea of, Clance Honeybeak, of the minor
Clance
noble house
Honeybeak.
of Strongcastle.
Clance Honeybeak. I know him. They've long been supporters of the Duke here.
I can tell you meetings happened between him and Adriel. I can give you dates, a couple days ago, such and such. Apparently just Clance. No one else in the family was aware that Clance was planning to... but Clance knows Belvander's name. He knew Zelix. Apparently Zelix was his primary information source. And I suspect, based on what Adriel told me, that Clance knows where the rest of the barrels might be. I think we should make the arrest.
Yes, we're going to act quickly. So he's going to go to speak with his guardsmen and do something. You imagined issues, go to make some sort of arrest. Are you like volunteering or insisting to go with?
I would like to go with. This is
You go with?
personal. Yeah.
Okay. So we're basically out of time, but we can still end on this note. There is just an en masse arrest of House Honeybeak, and they just take in
sorted out.
everyone.
Yeah.
Just everyone they
Look
can
at
get their
Clance.
hands on. They just take them all in.
Look at
And
Clance.
obviously Clance is like the main one they want to talk to, but they're going to try to not leave any stones unturned.
But do we get Clance, I guess, is my big question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's, swearing he doesn't know what this is about and, claiming, like, what is this? No! He's, like, shouting and...
He's a noble. I think he's
Right.
soft enough. That
Basically, all of them are some are more vocal than others, but
Yeah,
the Clance Honeybeak is, insisting he doesn't know what they're talking about.
Mhm. Well, that's fine. He can persist in that until we get the information out of him. And I think that he's gonna. I don't think Clance Honeybeak, from the impression I had of the man through the limited scenes, I don't think he's as hard as Adriel. Or
No,
as,
I don't think he's hard at all. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
We'll get into that though next session, and we'll get into the magic items and suits of Emerald Dragon Scale armor being completed, and you all presumably traveling with knights and others to Holmesgate to meet the foes as they arrive.
Yeah.
Amazing session, powerful role-playing scene at the end there, very powerful. So
Sorry to take up so much time, but geez.
no
It had to
apologies
happen.
necessary. That was definitely a memorable moment.
We didn't
And
get our
a special
fight over
thank
a
you
bridge.
to Nick for like being willing to like go there with the character, even knowing that this might mean you won't be able to play the character anymore, or maybe you will. I don't know exactly what will happen, but you, yeah, have
It seems like something that we'll find out next time.
Yeah, we've been letting this develop organically, but I think there's a pretty good chance Nick will be playing a different character next session.
I agree.
So we'll talk about that and get things prepared during these next couple weeks.
Even if it's a short-term thing, he should definitely play another character while Adriel's in
We've
prison.
got some seeds of ideas sprouting. Thanks everyone for watching, and to all happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
oh yeah, it is Halloween.
I hope your
tomorrow,
your
Tomorrow.
tricks and your treats are many. All right, well, I'll see you all in the next one, and take care.